Phoenix Nights. Chapter 690. Outside. Jin Tianlong and the others surrounded Sikong Jiayue. Yan Ryu, Hu Qianjiao, and the other girls surrounded Sikong Xinyan. They were all very friendly, as if they were good friends who hadn't seen each other for many years. They obviously wanted to get more information about Lin Feng from Sikong Jiayue and Sikong Xinyan. However, the siblings didn't say anything about Lin Feng. But that didn't stop the group from being so friendly. As far as they were concerned, Lin Feng seemed to have a close relationship with Sikong Jiayue. If they were on good terms with Sikong Jiayue, they might be able to gain Lin Feng's friendship in the future. Inside, Bai Xingyi set up a soundproof barrier. Then, the four of them sat down. "Brother Lin, do you know that we're different from the people outside?" Dao Wushu looked at Lin Feng. Lin Feng was stunned. He immediately knew what Dao Wushu wanted to say. He nodded and said, "That's right. There are indeed some differences. It seems that Brother Lin already knows that you have a special constitution," Dao Wushu said. Lin Feng nodded. Bai Xingyi smiled and said, "When I met Brother Lin in Northern Wasteland City, I sensed a faint blood essence in your body. I think that's the blood essence condensed from your special bloodline, right?" Bai Xingyi was indeed terrifying. Her perception was so strong. Lin Feng was shocked. He nodded and said, "That's right. I've already condensed the first drop of blood essence. I'm waiting for an opportunity to awaken my bloodline," Xing Tianyang said. "Breaking through to the yin-yang realm will quickly awaken your bloodline. Brother Lin, you haven't broken through yet. Are you still accumulating energy?" Lin Feng nodded and said, "Although I can break through, I want to break through in the ruins of God. Maybe I'll find some opportunities there. Finding opportunities in the ruins of God is indeed the best choice. When you break through, your cultivation will increase even more." Bai Xingyi smiled and said, "Brother Lin, what kind of special constitution do you have? Can you tell us?" Dao Wushu and Xing Tianyang looked at Lin Feng. Any special physique was extremely terrifying. Between different special constitutions, it was also a form of mutual promotion and restraint. However, there were differences in strength between these special constitutions. The virtuous Dao physique was one of the stronger ones among the special physiques. Lin Feng replied, "Immortal divine body." "What? Brother Lin, you have the immortal divine body?" Dao Wushu, Bai Xingyi, and Xing Tianyang all stood up in shock. Lin Feng was a little surprised and couldn't help but ask, "Is there something wrong?" Dao Wushu smiled bitterly. "Brother Lin, do you know about the 10 immemorial divine bodies?" Lin Feng shook his head. He really didn't know much about special constitutions. Wushu said, "The 10 ancient godly bodies are the immemorial saint body, the indestructible battle body, the immortal godly body, the sky tyrant saint body, the 10,000 poisons demon body, the reincarnation demon body, the eternal immortal body, the Tao fusion godly body, the sovereign emperor body, and the karma saint body. Brother Lin, it won't be long before you awaken your immortal divine body. Once you do, your cultivation will rise very quickly," said Xing Tianyang. Lin Feng nodded. Bai Xingyi asked, "Brother Lin, have you heard of the Heaven Opening Road?" "Heaven Opening Road? What's that?" Lin Feng was puzzled. "In the depths of the endless sea, there's an ancient and mysterious road. It's called the Heaven Opening Road. It's a road that the ancient gods used to cultivate. Countless opportunities and inheritances can be found on the Heaven Opening Road." Xing Tianyang's eyes blazed. "There's even a way to become a god there. You can even find a way to condense godly flames." Lin Feng was shocked. There was actually such a road? Isn't the Heaven Opening Road too shocking? Lin Feng was moved. "Of course. The Heaven Opening Road is such an incredible road. If you can find an opportunity on it, you might be able to become a god," Dao Wushu said. "Become a god!" Lin Feng's eyes blazed. He longed to become a god. Only by becoming a god could he enter the starry sky. He could cross starfields. Only then would he have the chance to rescue his mother, who was suppressed in the depths of the starry sky. "Brother Lin, You have an undying body. Once you awaken, your cultivation will quickly catch up to ours. At that time, we'd like to invite you to explore the heaven-opening road with us," Xing Tianyang said. No wonder Bai Xingyi was here. Dao wish you. Xing Tianyang. She was so enthusiastic about him. Because in their eyes, he was the same kind of person as them. He had a special constitution. When the heaven-opening road opened, they wanted to form a small team to explore it. Ordinary people weren't qualified to join such a small team. Only people like them had the right to join. And Lin Feng was one of them. "When will the heaven-opening road open?" Lin Feng asked. "It will open within 10 years, but I estimate that it will open in 4 or 5 years," Bai Xingyi said. Lin Feng nodded. Lin Feng nodded. If he had 4 or 5 years, Lin Feng believed that his cultivation would increase. Lin Feng asked, "Are there any restrictions on the heaven-opening road?" "There are indeed restrictions. First, it's cultivation. Only cultivators below the life and death realm can enter. Second, it's age. Cultivators who have cultivated for less than 100 years can enter. Basically, those old antiques or middle-generation cultivators can't enter," Dao Wishu said. Compared to a cultivator's long lifespan, 800 years. It was indeed very short. Lin Feng nodded. "I'll do my best to raise my cultivation in the next few years. With Brother Lin joining us, once the heaven-opening road opens, I'm sure we'll gain something." They were all very happy. They all knew what Lin Feng's immortal godly body meant. Once the undying body awakened, this taboo body that could be ranked in the top 10 of the ancient times would definitely display terrifying abilities. At that time, it would be very useful on the heaven-opening road, which was full of dangers. With such a teammate, they would also feel at ease. A few people walked out from the inner room. Everyone looked at Lin Feng, Bai Xingyi, Dao Wishu, and Xing Tianyang with smiles on their faces. They knew. The 4 of them were clearly chatting happily. No one knew what they were talking about in private. The small trade fair was held soon after. Basically, it was a barter. Lin Feng didn't get anything for himself. Because he didn't like anything that appeared. He didn't need anything either. However, Lin Feng used 2 7,000-year-old spirit herbs to exchange for 2 peak-level treasured artifacts for Sikong Sinyan. With such powerful artifacts, even if she couldn't defeat a yin-yang realm cultivator, she could still easily escape with her life. Before the banquet ended, Lin Feng asked Bai Xingyi to take care of Sikong Sinyan. It was mainly because he was about to leave with Sikong Jiayue, so he was a little worried. Bai Xingyi had just formed an alliance with Lin Feng, so she naturally wouldn't refuse. Yan Ryu, Jin Tianlong, and the others were all secretly thinking. Although the Sikong family had been defeated, they were now on good terms with Lin Feng and Wanhua House. Perhaps in the future, the Sikong family would regain its glory in the hands of Sikong Jiayue. It seemed that they had to interact more with the Sikong family and deepen their relationship. Chapter 691. The ocean stretched as far as the eye could see, blue waves rippled. Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue took a huge ship and entered the eastern sea world. This was Lin Feng's first time out at sea. The magnificent waves of the sea shook Lin Feng's heart. This made him sigh with emotion. No matter how powerful a person was, in front of nature, it seemed to be forever small. Every once in a while, there would be a huge ship heading out to the depths of the ocean. Some people went to the Immortal Island to ask for spiritual medicine. Some people wanted to go to the Immortal Island to learn from a master. Some people went to the deep sea to look for opportunities. They all had different motives. The East Sea is vast and boundless, and there are many different powers. It doesn't belong to the 72 prefectures in the north, but rather, it belongs to the 4 seas. The vice-captain introduced the division of forces in the East Sea to the cultivators in the cabin. In the land of the Eastern Sea, the most powerful force is the mysterious Eastern Sea Dragon Palace. However, the Eastern Sea Dragon Palace is too mysterious for cultivators and is very difficult to come into contact with. Apart from the East Sea Dragon Palace, There are 7 other groups called the 3 Saints and the 4 Immortals. The 3 Saints refer to the Panlai, rosy clouds, and flying immortal ancient holy lands. The 4 Immortals refer to the raging flame, fire cloud, golden crow, and divine rock immortal islands. The 3 holy lands belong to the human race, while raging flame island, golden crow island, and divine Pung island belong to the demon race. Raging Flame Islands Demon King Raging Flame, Golden Crow Islands Golden Crow Holy Lord, and Divine Ping Islands Heavenly Ping Holy King are all famous experts. They stand at the peak of the Martial Heaven continent. As for Fire Cloud Island, it's an evil power. The leader of the island, evil god Fire Cloud, is extremely strong. The Inferno Demon King? Lin Feng suddenly thought of the demons of God's land in the East Province. They killed hundreds of millions of people in the East County. It was the combined effort of the Demon Blood Emperor and the Inferno Demon King. So this Inferno Demon King was the overlord of the East Sea. The vice captain continued, "Of course, apart from these top-tier factions, there are also some other factions, which are pirates." Pirates? Everyone's expression changed. Everyone knew about bandits. They killed people and plundered goods, committing all sorts of crimes. Pirates should be the same as bandits. Maybe you've seen bandits on land, but there aren't that many bandits on a large scale. But on the sea, pirates are extremely savage. The sea is rich in resources and it's easy to hide. Therefore, for many strong cultivators, this is the best time to travel," said Lin Feng. The vice captain said, "These pirates are so rampant. Don't tell me that the great powers of the sea never encircle them?" someone asked. "Of course. There's even a bounty list. The bounty for the 9 pirate kings is 100 million top-grade spirit stones, but who can kill them?" The vice captain shook his head. "There's still a pirate king?" Everyone was shocked. The vice captain replied, "Of course there are pirate kings. Pirate forces are extremely powerful, and there are pirates everywhere. The 9 great pirate kings' forces are even more powerful. If the 9 great pirate kings joined forces, even the ancient sacred lands and ancient immortal islands would tremble. Does that mean the 9 great pirate kings have the ability to shake the ancient sacred lands and ancient immortal islands?" Lin Feng asked. "You could say that." The vice city lord nodded. This made Lin Feng feel incredulous. If that was the case, then the current East Sea could indeed be called the Great Voyage Era. The vice city lord continued, "There are 2 things to worry about when going out to sea. The first is how to avoid the pirates, and the second is how to avoid the powerful beasts in the sea. This vast sea is boundless, and the beasts wreak havoc in the sea. Some of the more powerful beasts can swallow an entire island with their mouths wide open. Their cultivation is unimaginably strong, and they can't be resisted. Many of you want to join the great powers of the sea to cultivate. This time, we will be stopping at the Cloud Sea Gathering Place. The Cloud Sea Gathering Place is one of the 18 largest gathering places. It was built by the joint efforts of many great powers of the sea. People come and go, and it's very lively. The great powers of the sea also have offices in the gathering place. If you want to join them, you can go to the offices. As for whether you can join the great powers of the sea, it depends on your own ability." Many cultivators who wanted to join the great powers of the sea were excited when they heard this. Obviously, they yearned to join the great powers of the sea. There were immortals in the East Sea. In fact, they were referring to the great powers of the sea. These great powers of the sea were all overlords, and they were even stronger than the ancient powers of the land. Even if they were weaker than the ancient powers. But they were only weaker in terms of foundation. Compared to them. In fact, they weren't far off. Of course, there was a reason for this. The resources of the sea were far more abundant than those of the land. And there were very few great powers of the sea. This way, the resources could be concentrated. It wasn't like the land, where all kinds of powers crisscrossed. The resources were scattered. Therefore, the great powers of the sea. It wasn't unreasonable. The giant ships sailed on the sea for more than 10 days. But on this day, they encountered the most terrifying thing. The sky suddenly darkened. A gloomy and cold aura surged in the void. In the sea, huge creatures appeared one after another. They were gigantic sharks. That kind of shark was too big. Each shark was 1,000 meters long. Ordinary sharks were only a few meters long. Even the most ferocious tiger shark was only 10 meters long. But the shark that appeared in front of them was 1,000 meters long. It was simply shocking. This was a kind of shark that was completely black. There were about a dozen sharks in this group, and they rushed towards the giant ship. Not good, it's the Nether Demon Shark. Activate the giant ship's defense, and quickly escape from this place. The captain personally appeared, his expression extremely solemn. Nether Demon Shark. It was the most ferocious beast in the East Sea. They usually lived in the deepest abyss of the sea. The word nether meant hell. And in the sea, it was defined as Hell's Messenger. The Nether Demon Shark was like the Hell's Messenger, appearing and disappearing unpredictably. Once it appeared, it would cause a great deal of suffering. Countless creatures would die. The giant ship's defense was activated. The giant ship quickly rushed into the distance. But it was too late to leave now. The Nether Demon Sharks rushed over. Quick, release the arrows and kill the Nether Demon Shark! The vice captain anxiously shouted. A huge crossbow was pushed out. It needed more than a dozen people to pull it open. The arrows were also magical arrows. They were more than 10 meters long, and could easily kill large beasts. One after another, huge crossbow bolts shot out. The power was enough to destroy heaven and earth. They fiercely bombarded the Nether Demon Shark. Clang, 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 the sound of metal clashing could be heard. Sparks flew everywhere. The magical arrows that could kill a yin-yang realm cultivator couldn't even break through the Nether Demon Shark's defense. Chapter 692. This is troublesome. Even such powerful arrows can't break through the defense of these Nether Demon Sharks. I'm afraid we have to prepare to escape. Seeing the arrows bounced off the Nether Demon Sharks' bodies, Lin Feng knew that they were in trouble. The Nether Demon Sharks in front of them were too terrifying, and there were more than a dozen of them. Once these Nether Demon Sharks charged, it was not something the giant ship could withstand. As expected, more than a dozen Nether Demon Sharks charged over. They fiercely crashed into the giant ship. Crack, crack. With the first wave of impact, the giant ship's restriction began to break. Then, the Nether Demon Sharks once again crashed into the giant ship. Bang! A loud sound shook the sky. The giant ship's restriction was broken by the Nether Demon Sharks. Then, something terrifying happened. The giant ship's hull began to crumble. Run, leave the ship quickly, the ship is about to break. Many people cried out in horror. Many people's faces turned pale. Everyone rushed into the air. Swish, cold light flashed. One by one, the Nether Demon Sharks opened their bloody mouths. Densely packed water arrows were sprayed out. They shot towards the cultivators in the air. Puff, puff. Then, the sound of the water arrows tearing flesh could be heard. Accompanied by shrill screams, many cultivators were pierced by the water arrows. Then they fell. They were swallowed by the Nether Demon Sharks. These Nether Demon Sharks were extremely ferocious. Their attacks were powerful. Not only did they attack with water arrows, they also whipped their huge tails. Dozens of cultivators were whipped to death. Run, run, run! Many people were trembling in fear and frantically flew into the distance. Seeing the cultivators who were about to escape, the Nether Demon Sharks spat out pitch-black balls of energy. These Nether Demon Sharks were really too powerful. Not only could they attack with water arrows, but they also had more powerful energy attacks. Every time an energy ball exploded, many cultivators would be faked to death. Then, the Nether Demon Sharks suddenly sucked. Those cultivators' corpses flew towards the Nether Demon Sharks. They were swallowed by the Nether Demon Sharks. These Nether Demon Sharks were ferocious. They liked to attack cultivators' islands or ships. It was rumored that tens of thousands of years ago, the nether demon sharks' numbers reached a peak. Thousands of nether demon sharks were attacking a huge gathering point in the sea. The gathering place was instantly destroyed by the thousands of nether demon sharks. Only a handful of the tens of millions of cultivators managed to escape. Almost all of them were devoured by the nether demon shark. This was the famous Savage Shark Island Extermination incident. Under the leadership of the Nether Demon Shark King, the group of Nether Demon Sharks continued to attack the cultivators on the sea. More than a dozen bases were destroyed by the Nether Demon Sharks. Countless ships were devoured by the Nether Demon Sharks. At that time, it caused a huge panic in the East Sea. However, this also infuriated many forces in the East Sea. Under the call of the 3 Holy Lands and the 4 Immortal Islands, all the forces in the Eastern Sea, big and small, had joined forces to encircle and annihilate the Nether Demon Sharks. In the end, they paid a heavy price to kill the Nether Demonic Shark King and destroy the Nether Demonic Sharks. Originally, the forces of the Eastern Sea wanted to exterminate the Nether Demon Sharks to vent their anger. However, the appearance of the emissary of the East Sea Dragon Palace prevented the extinction of this race. However, after that battle, the Nether Demon Sharks suffered heavy losses. Their numbers dropped from a few thousand to a few dozen. It was extremely difficult for a Nether Demon Shark to breed, and it was even more difficult for it to grow. Even if tens of thousands of years had passed, the number of Nether Demon Sharks was still very small. Now, more than a dozen Nether Demon Sharks were mobilized at once. There were originally 5,000 to 6,000 cultivators on the ship. Not long after, more than half of them were slaughtered by the Nether Demon Sharks. Everything that was happening before their eyes was too tragic. Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue quickly flew into the distance. Loud rumbling sounds could be heard. A Nether Demon Shark's huge tail whipped over. Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue quickly dodged. They narrowly avoided the Nether Demon Shark's attack. At this moment, the Nether Demon Shark, however, spat out a ball of energy. Many cultivators were faked to death by the energy ball. That energy ball also enveloped Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue. Heavenly God Shield. At this moment, Sikong Jiayue took out a treasure. This treasure was a shield, and he held it in his hand. That shield instantly revealed the image of a heavenly god. Divine light lingered around it, protecting them. Heavenly God Shield. Its defense was astonishing. The Nether Demon Shark's energy attack blasted over. At this moment, the Heavenly God Shield showed its power. It blocked the Nether Demon Shark's attack. This is a treasure left behind by the ancestor who founded the Sikong family. Its defense is very strong. Although I can't completely control this treasure, it should be enough to protect us as we leave, Sikong Jiayue said. Okay, let's not waste any time. Let's go, Lin Feng said. The two of them relied on the Heavenly God Shield's powerful defense to rush out. They didn't stop and quickly left the area. These Nether Demon Sharks are really terrifying. Sikong Jiayue let out a long breath. Lin Feng nodded and said, We were lucky to be able to escape. The appearance of the Nether Demon Sharks caused a huge commotion. Ships were constantly being attacked by the Nether Demon Sharks. The casualties were disastrous. These Nether Demon Sharks didn't move in groups either. Some of them also chose to move alone. There's a gathering place in front. Although it's not very big, there are still 200,000 to 300,000 cultivators. Let's go there and rest for a day. Sikong Jiayue pointed to an island in the distance. Vaguely, one could see a city on the island. Obviously, someone had built a city on the island. Okay. Lin Feng nodded. He walked towards the island with Sikong Jiayue. When they were about to reach the island, suddenly, Lin Feng felt a violent fluctuation coming from the depths of the sea. Not good, it's a Nether Demon Shark. Lin Feng's expression changed slightly. He and Sikong Jiayue quickly rushed to a high place. Soon, the Nether Demon Shark appeared. The Nether Demon Shark's huge body appeared on the surface of the sea. There's only one. Sikong Jiayue let out a long breath. The Nether Demon Shark rushed towards the cultivator gathering place. The cultivators in the cultivator gathering place also noticed the nether demon shark. Not good, the nether demon shark is here, run! Many people cried out in horror. However, it was already too late to escape. The nether demon shark opened its bloody mouth. A terrifying scene appeared. The nether demon shark's bloody mouth was like a black hole world. Waves of terrifying dark energy surged out. It enveloped the entire huge island. The island was rapidly shrinking. Everyone was trapped on the island. Crack! The nether demon shark swallowed the island in one gulp. Along with the hundreds of thousands of people on the island. They were also swallowed by the nether demon shark. Chapter 693. On an island. It was devoured just like that. It turned out that the rumors were true. Deep-sea beasts could devour an entire cultivator island in one gulp. And now, they had seen the rumors with their own eyes. Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue. They were deeply shocked. What a terrifying power of darkness! Not only was the entire island sealed, but it was also shrinking. What kind of power is that? Sikong Jiayue said with a pale face. It should be the divine power of the nether demon shark. No wonder this group of nether demon sharks was so terrifying tens of thousands of years ago, causing the entire East Sea to fall into panic. They are indeed too powerful. Lin Feng took a deep breath and said. After the nether demon shark devoured the entire island and hundreds of thousands of cultivators, it let out a satisfied sigh. Then, it plunged into the ocean and disappeared without a trace. Unfortunately, with our strength, we can't kill such a nether demon shark. If we can kill it, we'll obtain its essence, and then we'll be able to absorb its essence. Our cultivation will advance by leaps and bounds. Lin Feng said. Sikong Jiayue said. This nether demon shark's defense is too strong, and the power contained in its huge body is too terrifying. I reckon that only powerful cultivators can deal with it. The two didn't stop and continued to fly deeper. Some large forces had already received the news of the nether demon shark's appearance. Many large forces had sent experts to capture the nether demon shark. On this day, in the distance, dark clouds rolled and lightning intertwined. The purple lightning was like a lightning dragon, swimming in the void. In the ocean, a huge creature let out a low roar from time to time. Nether demon shark! It was actually a nether demon shark. It was obvious that the nether demon shark was about to undergo a tribulation. Good heavens, this nether demon shark will undergo a transformation once it succeeds, and its cultivation will increase by leaps and bounds. Lin Feng narrowed his eyes as he looked at the nether demon shark. Some powerful beasts were undergoing a transformation. Like a snake transforming into a dragon. They were all going against the heavens. Those who went against the heavens would be punished by the heavens. The heavens' punishment referred to the lightning tribulation. Resisting the heavens' punishment was what cultivators called tribulation. In fact, it wasn't only the beasts that had to undergo tribulation. Even cultivators had to undergo tribulation. Of course, cultivators usually transcended their tribulations by cultivating to a high level. At that time, they would experience 3 calamities and 9 disasters. At that time, it would be extremely dangerous. Just a little carelessness. He would die and his Tao would vanish. Sikong Jiayue said. With such a huge commotion, I'm afraid it will attract quite a few people. Lin Feng nodded and said, the nether demon shark, must have devoured too many cultivators and improved greatly. Therefore, I had to undergo the tribulation here before returning to the deep sea region. The tribulation of heaven's wrath is extremely dangerous. Even if I could successfully pass the tribulation, I would lose half my life. At that time, the nether demon shark would be at its weakest. At this point, Lin Feng's eyes flashed with a burning gaze. Sikong Jiayue's eyes lit up. Regardless of whether or not the nether demon shark can successfully overcome its tribulation, it won't be easy for it to escape back to the deep sea alive. Even if it wants to leave, will these cultivators let it go? Lin Feng smiled calmly. Swish, swish, swish. At this moment, more than 10 cultivators flew over from afar. Someone's coming. Sikong Jiayue said. Let's hide and wait for an opportunity to snatch the nether demon shark's source energy. Lin Feng said. Next, he and Sikong Jiayue hid on a small island. They waited for the nether demon shark to undergo its tribulation. Cultivators continued to arrive. Most of them were rogue cultivators. The nether demon shark had a burning gaze. Behind a rock reef, there were more than 10 people hiding. If it was Lin Feng, he would definitely be able to recognize these people. Lu Mengyan. It was actually this person. Previously, she had tried to recruit Lin Feng to become Huang Fuqingtian's death warrior. However, she was rejected by Lin Feng. As a result, she hated Lin Feng out of jealousy. Beside Lu Mengyan was Sun Zizhou. Of course, the most eye-catching person was a cultivator with a sword on his back. This person was 15 or 16 years old. He was dressed in green and was very handsome. This cultivator was called Li Jianxiao. He was a core disciple of the Blue Cloud sect. His status could be said to be high and mighty. Moreover, this person had long since submitted to Huang Fuqingtian. He was highly regarded by Huang Fuqingtian. Now, he was entrusted by Huang Fuqingtian. Li Jianxiao accompanied Lu Mengyan to the ruins of God to train. It could be seen. This Huang Fuqingtian treated Lu Mengyan extremely well. This was also something that many people did not understand. Why would Huang Fuqingtian treat Mengyan like this? Many people guessed that Lu Mengyan might have some secrets. This made Huang Fuqingtian very interested. This was why Lu Mengyan had such a high and mighty status. Li Jianxiao said. A confident expression appeared on Lu Mengyan's face as she said, Don't worry, senior brother Qingtian has already decided who will take first place in the intersect competition. Regardless of whether or not I'm able to break through to the yin-yang realm, I'll still take first place. I'll break through to the yin-yang realm as soon as possible and enter the small world to quickly increase my cultivation. Before the heaven opening road opens, I'll be able to reach the peak of the yin-yang realm and dual cultivate with senior brother Qingtian. It turned out that Lu Mengyan had a very special physique called the water spirit body. This kind of water spirit body was the best physique for dual cultivation. If one dual cultivated with a woman with the water spirit body, their cultivation would advance by leaps and bounds. When the 8th prince of Jinwu country was killed for his rebellion, Lu Mengyan escaped and met Huang Fuqingtian on the way. Huang Fuqingtian saw that Lu Mengyan had a water spirit body at a glance. Moreover, she still maintained her virginity. This made Huang Fuqingtian very happy. He brought Lu Mengyan back to the Blue Cloud sect. He spent a huge amount of money to cultivate Lu Mengyan. It was all to quickly increase Lu Mengyan's cultivation. Then, he would dual cultivate with Lu Mengyan. This was the first time they dual cultivated. It was the most obvious increase in the cultivation of male cultivators. It was said that it could often increase one's cultivation by several levels. Of course, the higher the cultivation of the female cultivator, the better. The higher the cultivation of the female cultivator, the more the male cultivator took the female cultivator's virginity. The higher the cultivation of the male cultivator. Lu Mengyan obviously knew why Huang Fuqingtian thought so highly of her. Some of the higher-ups of the Green Sky Peak, such as Li Jianxiao, also knew. However, Lu Mengyan didn't feel that there was anything shameful about it. To be able to become a woman of a man like Huang Fuqingtian, it was something she didn't even dare to dream about in the past. Rumble! At this moment, in the sky, a terrifying aura surged. The sound of thunder rumbled. It shook the sea for thousands of miles. Then, bolts of lightning as thick as mountains blasted towards the nether demon shark. The nether demon shark's heavenly tribulation. Finally, it descended. Announcement: the app is online, supporting Android and Apple. Please follow the official WeChat account to download and install Appsid. Chapter 694. Isn't this lightning tribulation too scary? Sikong Jiayue stared at the mountain like lightning with his mouth agape. Such a huge lightning bolt. It was hard to imagine how destructive it was. Lin Feng nodded. He was also shocked. This was Lin Feng's first time seeing a heavenly tribulation. Although he had heard of a heavenly tribulation before, he also knew that a heavenly tribulation was very scary. However, everything was just hearsay after all. As the saying goes, hearsay is false, but seeing is believing. He could only see it with his own eyes. Only then could he confirm if what he heard was true. Now, Lin Feng could confirm. Everything he had heard was true. The heavenly tribulation seemed to be much more powerful than the rumors. Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue were not the only ones shocked. Everyone was extremely shocked. The cultivators who were hiding in the surroundings. It was probably their first time seeing a heavenly tribulation. Bang! A loud explosion shook the sky. A lightning bolt as thick as a mountain struck the nether demon shark's body. Poof! The nether demon shark's body was instantly blasted apart. Blood splattered everywhere. The nether demon shark let out a shrill scream. This nether demon shark has such a powerful cultivation, but it couldn't even withstand the first heavenly tribulation? It was injured by the explosion. Lin Feng was shocked by the nether demon shark. Now, the nether demon shark was obviously severely injured. Blood was dripping. Lin Feng had seen how powerful the nether demon shark was before. The powerful arrows that could easily kill the giant beasts could only create sparks on the nether demon shark. It was difficult to cause any damage to the nether demon shark. However, the power of the heavenly tribulation. It instantly injured the nether demon shark. This showed how powerful the heavenly tribulation was. In the sky, the second heavenly tribulation was brewing. Lin Feng looked at the sky and narrowed his eyes. He was shocked. There was actually more than one heavenly tribulation. It wanted to do something heaven-defying. As expected, the heavens didn't allow it. The first heavenly tribulation couldn't kill the nether demon shark. Then, it brewed an even more powerful heavenly tribulation. It was truly shocking and moving. Black smoke gushed out of the nether demon shark's body. The black aura enveloped the nether demon shark's body. The nether demon shark's cold eyes stared at the heavenly tribulation that was brewing in the sky. Boom! An even more terrifying tribulation exploded. Destructive energy waves surged out. The second heavenly tribulation descended. The second heavenly tribulation was like a sea of lightning crashing down from the sky. The power of this heavenly tribulation was even more terrifying. Bang! The sea of lightning struck the nether demon shark. The nether demon shark's body almost exploded. A large amount of flesh and blood flew everywhere. In many places, white bones could be seen. The nether demon shark had suffered too much damage from the heavenly tribulation. How terrifying! So this is heavenly tribulation! Many cultivators who were hiding in the dark were so scared that they trembled all over. The nether demon shark was such a powerful existence. 2 heavenly tribulations came down. He had already lost half of his life. The heavenly tribulation was extremely powerful. It was really shocking. No wonder it said that the path of cultivation is against the heavens. One has to go through the tribulations, difficult and dangerous. The tribulations are the cultivator's heavenly tribulation. It's similar to the nether demon shark's heavenly tribulation. If a powerful existence like the nether demon shark can't resist the heavenly tribulation, wouldn't a cultivator's chances of surviving be even lower? Lin Feng was secretly shocked. Go through the tribulations. Die without regrets. This was the belief of many powerful cultivators. Perhaps they were also cheering for themselves. The third heavenly tribulation began to brew. Everyone was shocked. The heavenly tribulation really wouldn't stop until the nether demon shark was dead. Sikong Jiayue said, "The heavenly tribulation is too powerful. I'm afraid the nether demon shark won't be able to withstand the third heavenly tribulation." Lin Feng nodded and said, "If the nether demon shark fails the tribulation, the hidden cultivators will probably rush out to snatch the nether demon shark's origin. At that time, I'll rush over and take the origin first. At that time, the others will definitely surround and attack me. You should be ready to take out the divine shield at any time. With this treasure, we should have no problem getting rid of those cultivators." Okay, you must be careful, Sikong Jiayue said. Don't worry, it'll be fine. Lin Feng patted Sikong Jiayue's shoulder. A loud rumbling sound could be heard. In the depths of the endless thundercloud world, a huge lightning blade condensed. This was the lightning blade tribulation of the heavenly tribulation. One blade to cut through the mortal world. The lightning blade slashed towards the nether demon shark. It was so terrifying that it was suffocating. It filled the world. Lin Feng faced the lightning blade. Even his soul was trembling. That lightning blade. It was really too powerful. Its power was too strong. It was hard to describe with words. Roar! The nether demon shark let out a deep roar. The nether demon shark already had a high level of intelligence. At this moment, it sensed the third heavenly tribulation. The terrifying part of the lightning blade tribulation. Endless black fog poured out of the nether demon shark's body. Then, the nether demon shark's body started to burn. The nether demon shark was burning its own origin. It wanted to burn its origin in exchange for great power to resist the descending heavenly tribulation. The nether demon shark was indeed powerful. When it burned its origin, a great power burst out. The huge lightning blade slashed down. It broke through the nether demon shark's pitch-black defense. However, the lightning blade's energy seemed to have been almost depleted. The lightning blade began to fade. In the sky, the dark clouds began to dissipate. 3 lightning tribulations. Did the nether demon shark succeed? Many people were shocked by the nether demon shark. The nether demon shark's huge and cold eyes revealed an expression of relief. He actually succeeded in overcoming the tribulation? Lin Feng was very surprised. He originally thought that the nether demon shark would die under the lightning blade. The nether demon shark wanted to dive into the sea and escape. Because the nether demon shark sensed many auras around it. If it was at its peak, it could devour all of them in one gulp. But now, the nether demon shark's injuries were too severe. Obviously, it was best to escape. But at this moment, the lightning blade that was about to dissipate emitted a shocking aura. Pooh! The lightning blade ruthlessly slashed down. All of the heavenly tribulation's power was brewing for the final attack. The nether demon shark let out a terrified cry. In the next moment, its body was struck by the lightning blade. A loud bang was heard. The incomparably thick lightning blade tore the nether demon shark's body apart. The nether demon shark's body was struck by the lightning. It directly exploded. The lightning was completely unrestrained. Only a pure pitch-black energy was left floating in the air. It's the nether demon shark's origin. Many people's eyes suddenly lit up. Swish, 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 one by one, figures rushed out. You want to snatch it from our fire island? A young master coldly shouted, and a dozen guards beside him rushed out. What's the fire island? A mediocre force. A cold laugh was heard. A young cultivator with one eye rushed out. His strength was abnormally terrifying. Pirate Duga Yen, it's actually this ruthless pirate. Many cultivators and pirates shuddered at the sight. Duga Yen was the 74th ranked pirate. His cultivation was powerful, and he was bloodthirsty. Many large forces on the sea wanted him, but he still lived very freely. Duga Yen, the young master of the Fire Island Ziqi, had a gloomy expression, but he didn't dare to say anything. Instead, he quickly rushed towards the nether demon shark's origin. In another direction, Sword Chi soared into the sky. A sword ray wrapped around Li Jianshao. Lu Mingyan and the others quickly rushed towards the nether demon shark's origin. These 3 forces were the most powerful. Each of them had a fierce expression. They were determined to obtain the nether demon shark's origin. But at this moment, a golden light was as fast as lightning. It instantly arrived in front of the nether demon shark's origin. The golden lightning descended. Everyone was a young cultivator. It was Lin Feng. He waved his right hand and directly collected the nether demon shark's origin. Courting death. Chapter 695. The experts surrounded him. Lin Feng was completely surrounded. Now, Lin Feng was in danger. Brat, hand over the nether demon shark's origin to me, and I'll spare your life. Li Ziki looked coldly at Lin Feng. Hand over the nether demon shark's origin to me, or I'll make you suffer a fate worse than death. Du Guiyan directly threatened Lin Feng. At this time, Lu Mingyan and Sun Zizhou recognized Lin Feng. A sinister look appeared in the eyes of the two men. When Lin Feng had rejected Lu Mingyan's offer to become Huangfu Qingtian's suicide soldier, the two of them were already jealous of Lin Feng. Now, Lin Feng had snatched the original essence of the demonic shark, which they had been so determined to obtain. Lu Mingyan and Sun Zizhou couldn't wait to kill Lin Feng. Junior sister Lu, do you know this brat? Li Jianxiao noticed Lu Mingyan's abnormality and asked. This person is Lin Feng, Lu Mingyan said. Li Jianxiao's lips curled into a cold smile. This brat is Lin Feng, the one who refused to become eldest senior brother's suicide soldier? He really doesn't know what's good for him, Sun Zizhou said. Now that he has the nether demon shark's origin, what should we do? It's best to outsmart him, Lu Mingyan said. Li Jianxiao nodded. At this time, Lu Mingyan looked at Lin Feng and said, Junior brother Lin, come to us quickly. We'll escort you out. Lin Feng looked at Lu Mingyan. He was slightly surprised. He hadn't expected to see Lu Mingyan here. He saw the cold expressions in Li Jianxiao and Sun Zizhou's eyes. Lin Feng sneered. These people should be from Clear Sky Peak. Moreover, they seemed to want to kill him, he said indifferently. So it's senior sister Lu. Nice to meet you. If you're really thinking for me, I'll have to trouble you to block these cultivators and let me escape. When I return to the sect, I'll definitely repay you. Lu Mingyan's gaze instantly turned cold. Sun Zizhou cried out. Brat, are you trying to be shameless? Since we're from the same sect, as long as you hand over the nether demon shark's origin to us, we'll definitely protect you. If you hand it over to others, do you think they'll care about your life or death? In the end, the other cultivators will kill you to vent their anger. Only by cooperating with us will you have a chance to live. Lin Feng naturally wouldn't believe Sun Zizhou's nonsense. Sun Zizhou's killing intent towards himself was the strongest. If he really sold his life to these people, he would also die without a grave. Lin Feng coldly glanced at Sun Zizhou. Who do you think you are? How dare you yell at me? Brat, you're courting death. Sun Zizhou was refuted. His face was gloomy to the extreme, his eyes filled with killing intent. Attack! Li Ziki sneered and took the initiative to attack. Subsequently, Li Jianxiao, Lu Mingyan, Sun Zizhou, and the rest also attacked Lin Feng. Reckless brat! The pirate Du Guiyan laughed sinisterly as he charged towards Lin Feng. As for the rest of the cultivators, nearly 100 people rushed towards Lin Feng. You want to stop me with just the likes of you? Lin Feng sneered. Sky splitting! Sword intent piercing the heavens! The blade and sword merged. Sword chi and blade light. In an instant, they charged towards the crowd. Puff! The sound of something being torn apart suddenly rang out. One by one, the cultivators were directly beheaded. As for Lin Feng, he quickly rushed towards the gap that had been torn apart. Not good, this brat wants to run. Hurry up and kill him with all your might. Li Jianxiao's expression changed slightly. A sword slashed towards Lin Feng. Immediately after, all sorts of powerful attacks instantly blasted over. How terrifying was the combined attack of over 100 cultivators. Even a yin-yang realm cultivator would be killed. Swish. At this moment, Sikong Jiayue had already activated his ancestral defensive treasure, the Sky God Shield. This Sky God Shield was very special. Only the successor of the Sikong family could activate it. If Lin Feng could activate this treasure, it would be much easier for him to face the encirclement of so many experts. Of course, this was the Sikong family's ancestral treasure. Lin Feng could not activate it. Fortunately, Sikong Jiayue had already activated the Sky God Shield. The Sky God Shield instantly flew out and floated above Lin Feng. Divine light descended, protecting Lin Feng. A dense barrage of attacks blasted towards him. All of them were blocked by the divine light. Lin Feng rushed out of the encirclement and met up with Sikong Jiayue. Then, they flew into the distance. Damn it, we can't let them escape. Many people's expressions were extremely gloomy as they roared. 6 hours later, Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue had shaken off everyone. Haha, let's find a place to refine the source of the Nether Demon Shark. Lin Feng laughed loudly. The Nether Demon Shark's origin actually fell into our hands. This is a great opportunity. Sikong Jiayue said excitedly. Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue found an uninhabited island. The two of them refined the Nether Demon Shark's origin on the island. The Nether Demon Shark's origin had been mostly consumed when the Nether Demon Shark was resisting the Heavenly Tribulation. When the Heavenly Tribulation descended and killed the Nether Demon Shark, it had lost a large portion of its origin. Now only a small portion of its origin was left. But even so, it was only a small portion of its origin. It was also precious to an unimaginable degree. Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue began to refine the Nether Demon Shark's origin. As the Nether Demon Shark's origin was refined, Lin Feng's cultivation rose again. Originally, Lin Feng was only at the early 10th firmament of the Martial King realm. As the Nether Demon Shark's origin was refined, Lin Feng's cultivation rose to the peak of the 10th firmament of the Martial King realm. Lin Feng's forehead was overflowing with light. This was his accumulation reaching its peak. It was a sign that he could try to break through the yin-yang realm. But Lin Feng used the archaic dragon-esque elephant art to forcibly suppress this power that was about to break through. Because breaking through required a large amount of top-grade spirit stones. Lin Feng didn't have enough top-grade spirit stones. So, the breakthrough would definitely fail. Secondly, the Fire Qilin had told Lin Feng before that when he found the fragment of the World Tree, he would activate the fragment of the World Tree. Then he would plant the World Tree's sapling in his dantian. If he broke through at that time, the increase in strength would be more than 10 times stronger than when the World Tree's sapling was not planted in his dantian. The difference in strength was too great. So no matter what, Lin Feng would not choose to break through now. After suppressing this power that was about to break through, Lin Feng continued to refine the Nether Demon Shark's origin. After the Nether Demon Shark's origin was refined, it was all integrated into Lin Feng's blood. Lin Feng's blood flowed 10 times faster. In Lin Feng's dantian, drops of immortal divine blood were successfully condensed. A total of 9 drops of immortal divine blood were condensed. This made Lin Feng very happy. Because the effect of the immortal divine blood was heaven-defying. He could even use the immortal divine blood to activate the Black Dragon's sword. Instead of wasting his lifespan to activate the Black Dragon's sword. Immortal. Divine. Blood. Right at this moment, a fleeting voice came from the demonic bead. After hearing the voice from the demonic pearl, Lin Feng's body shook. Chapter 696. The Demonic Orb. It was the voice of the demonic orb. Back then, the owner of this voice must have devoured the Fire Qilin's godly power. He couldn't control the demonic orb. It was also because of this guy. Now, the mysterious existence in the demonic orb was speaking. However, Lin Feng's expression turned serious. He had refined the demonic orb. But he couldn't control it. Now, the mysterious existence in the demonic orb was speaking? And it was related to his undying divine blood. This guy, what was he trying to do? 10 drops of undying divine blood in exchange for a chance to attack. Do you agree? The voice echoed in Lin Feng's mind. It was no longer intermittent. Lin Feng heard it clearly. You want my undying divine blood? Are you daydreaming? Lin Feng was speechless. The key to awakening his undying body was the undying divine blood. Now, he had 10 drops of undying divine blood in his body. How could he trade with the existence in the demonic orb? Lin Feng said calmly. Sorry, I'm not interested. The existence in the demonic orb seemed to be angry. He said coldly. I'm not negotiating with you. I'm ordering you. Since you don't know what's good for you, I'll forcefully take the undying divine blood from your body. Boom! As soon as he finished speaking, a terrifying aura surged out of the demonic orb. In the next moment, the demonic orb rushed into Lin Feng's dantian. It wanted to devour 10 drops of undying divine blood. Lin Feng's expression changed again. He didn't expect the demonic orb to be so unreasonable. He didn't agree. It wanted to forcefully take his undying divine blood. Lin Feng naturally wouldn't give in. If the demonic orb took his undying divine blood, if he lost all his undying divine blood, the chances of awakening his undying divine body would be greatly reduced. Lin Feng quickly summoned his 5 devouring martial souls. The 5 devouring martial souls merged into one. This was the final form of Lin Feng's devouring martial soul. The devouring martial souls devoured the 10 drops of undying divine blood. The voice in the demonic bead sneered. Do you think I can't get the immortal god blood just because you hid it in your martial soul? Today, I will make you despair. That voice fell. Lin Feng's devouring martial spirit was instantly torn apart. The demonic orb rushed into it. He had to forcefully devour 10 drops of immortal god blood. Lin Feng's expression was extremely ugly. He angrily shouted, "Grandson, you dare to devour my undying god blood? Even if you can't kill me, I'll kill you sooner or later." The existence within the demonic bead sneered. "Brat, do you know what kind of terrifying existence I am? You dare say that you want to kill me? F***ck, this bastard must have awakened his consciousness long ago. Could it be that he woke up after devouring the fire Qilin's divine power? No wonder I couldn't activate the demonic orb no matter how many times I tried. It's because of this bastard." Lin Feng was infuriated. The mysterious existence within the demonic bead was like a ticking time bomb. It could explode at any time. However, he was powerless to stop the existence in the demonic orb from devouring his immortal divine blood. Soon, the immortal god blood was about to be devoured by the demonic orb. Suddenly, from the depths of Lin Feng's martial spirit, a terrifying undulation was transmitted. He could vaguely see that in the endless darkness, a hazy figure appeared. It seemed to be a woman. Through the endless darkness, she stared at the demonic orb. "You are a member of that race." The existence within the demonic orb looked at the hazy figure in horror. "I see. I understand now." The existence within the demonic orb paled. In the next moment, the demonic orb quickly retreated. What happened? Lin Feng was puzzled. Why did the demonic orb stop devouring his immortal god blood? Lin Feng discovered that the demonic orb had not only stopped devouring his immortal god blood. Furthermore, it had become completely silent. "You bastard, why did you give up on devouring my immortal god blood?" Lin Feng asked. He had always been the type to ask questions when he didn't understand. Even when facing the existence within the demonic orb that made him gnash his teeth in hatred. He had nothing to be embarrassed about. That existence snorted coldly. He naturally wouldn't admit that he had retreated because of fear. The demonic orb had discovered a shocking secret. And this secret, the demonic orb knew what it meant. That special family? With only 4 or 5 members. It was definitely not someone he could provoke. He would never forget the scene he saw back then. That was countless years ago. As a big shot of the immortal realm. When he was patrolling the immortal realm, he saw it with his own eyes. The immortal realm was smashed open. This was simply unbelievable. That was the immortal realm. How could someone break open the immortal realm? How angry was he at that time? He charged forward. He wanted that guy's life. But he was sent flying with a slap. That guy's words, even though countless years had passed, he couldn't forget it. Is this the immortal realm? Isn't it rumored that the immortal realm is filled with experts? Why is this guy so weak? Then, the guy who broke open the immortal realm left. He was one of the 81 realm lords of the immortal realm. Yet he was ignored. That grievance. He was about to go crazy. But he didn't dare to say a word. Because that guy was really too strong. So strong. To an unimaginable extent. The existence in the demonic orb thought of the past. Thinking of the existence who broke open the immortal realm, even now, he still felt his heart palpitate. He didn't appear in the immemorial war. If he appeared, what would the outcome of the immemorial war be? Rumor has it that his race went extinct after him. Now, it seems that the rumor isn't reliable at all. Thinking about it, that guy is so terrifying. How could he die? I'm afraid he's close to eternal life? Or maybe he has already reached eternal life? All kinds of thoughts flashed through the existence in the demonic orb. He thought of the legendary eternal life realm. It was above all existences. There was an ethereal eternal life realm. Even an emperor realm expert would die. But an eternal life realm expert wouldn't die. If there was really an eternal life realm expert, that fellow was most likely in existence at this level. Why aren't you talking? Are you mute? Lin Feng muttered again. The existence in the demonic orb was so angry. This kid actually dared to talk to him in such a tone. Did he not want to live anymore? But when he thought of the terrifying race behind Lin Feng that could make the heavens tremble, the existence in the demonic orb could only swallow his anger. Of course, he wouldn't tell him the real reason. Instead, he replied indifferently, I pity you. It wasn't easy for you to condense 10 drops of immortal divine blood, so I'll let you go this time. Do you think I'm a 3-year-old child? Lin Feng rolled his eyes. Lin Feng didn't know why the demonic orb gave up on devouring his 10 drops of immortal divine blood. But Lin Feng didn't believe the reason given by the demonic orb. Would the demonic orb be kind enough to let him go? That was nonsense. The existence in the demonic orb was definitely not a kind person. Chapter 697. Not long after, Sikong Jiayue woke up from his cultivation. Sikong Jiayue's face was filled with joy. Oh, I broke through 2 realms. Lin Feng was surprised. Sikong Jiayue nodded. The nether demon shark's source energy is truly amazing, but are you suppressing your cultivation? Do you have to wait until you reach the ruins of God? Sikong Jiayue asked. Lin Feng smiled. Since I'm going to break through, I'll think of a way to raise my cultivation to the limit. Sikong Jiayue smiled. Once you break through to the yin-yang realm, you'll be able to crush high-level yin-yang realm cultivators with your accumulated strength. Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue chatted for a while, ate some food, and recovered their strength. After a short rest, they continued flying towards the depths of the ocean. They were heading towards the first cultivator gathering area. A ship about 20 meters long was sailing on the ocean. A ship of this size could only be called a small ship. This ship was actually a fishing boat from a nearby island. There were countless islands in the vast ocean. Many of the islands had residents. Most of the residents made a living by fishing. Of course, those who could go out to sea to fish mostly had a certain level of cultivation. This was because the ocean was rich in resources. Thus, they were able to obtain a decent harvest. It wasn't just enough to satisfy their needs. They could also exchange it for cultivation resources. Of course, even so, these fishermen were still very careful when they went out to sea. First, because pirates were rampant. Second, because ferocious beasts were rampant in the ocean. Whether they encountered pirates or ferocious beasts, both were extremely dangerous. There were more than 20 people on this fishing boat. 5 youths around 16 or 17 years old were surrounding a tall and sturdy middle-aged man. One of the youths asked, Uncle Taizan, are there really immortals in the depths of the ocean? Of course. 20 years ago, a deep-sea immortal island even passed by our island. At that time, they conducted a test on our island, and Uncle Taizan was almost taken away by them. The tall and sturdy middle-aged man said. He was reminiscing and reminiscing. Their island was very small, with less than 1,000 people. They were also weak. Thus, they were unable to nurture outstanding juniors. They also didn't have the ability to send these juniors to the cultivator gathering areas to participate in the tests of the various factions. Such a small island. In the East Sea, they were like stars in the sky. There were countless of them. Will that immortal still come to our island? The youths asked expectantly. Taishan sighed and said, If you want to join an immortal island to cultivate, you need to be extremely talented. Then you have to go to the depths of the ocean to find an immortal island. Although there are cases of immortals coming out to recruit disciples, it's very rare. Hearing Uncle Taishan's words, the youths immediately revealed disappointed expressions. He lived in the East Sea. They had also seen some powerful cultivators who could fly into the sky and burrow into the ground. Naturally, he also looked forward to becoming such a person. However, reality was cruel. Uncle Taizan, look! What's that? Suddenly, a young man pointed into the distance. More than 20 people on the fishing boat were alarmed. In the distance, black fog rolled. The surging black fog rapidly flew over. Cultivators, Uncle Taishan said. He had been out at sea for many years, so he had some experience. He said to the people around him, If a cultivator lands on our ship, everyone must be respectful. Do not provoke the cultivator. Everyone nodded. Very soon, the black fog landed on the ship. From the black fog, a one-eyed cultivator walked out. It was actually the pirate Duguyen. East Sea. The number of pirates was simply as many as the hairs on an ox. Pirate Duguyen was a pirate that many forces in the East Sea had put a bounty on. To be able to become the 74th person on the bounty list. Naturally, he was not a simple person. This person's bounty reached 500 million low-grade spirit stones. But even with such a huge bounty, no one was able to take Duguyen's life. This guy was not only powerful, but also cunning. It would not be an easy task to kill him. Duguyen's cold eyes swept across everyone on the fishing boat. Which island are you from? Duguyen asked. Sir, we are residents of the Luo clan island, Uncle Taishan hurriedly said. Some of the small islands in the East Sea were often inhabited by clan relatives. Therefore, these small islands were often named after the clan's surname. Luo Clan Island. Obviously, the people living on this island were from the Luo clan. So it's this island. 300 years ago, a rather powerful person came from your island. He had a bright future ahead of him, but he died while encircling a giant beast in the sea. If that person had not died, your Luo clan island might have become prosperous and powerful. Duguyen narrowed his eyes and swept his gaze across the people of Luo clan island. Even Taishan did not know much about what had happened a few hundred years ago, let alone the others. Duguyen said indifferently, Did you find anything good when you went out to sea to fish? Taishan hurriedly nodded and said, We collected some blood coral from the sea. This is a precious spirit medicine, and we are willing to offer it to you. Taishan hurriedly signaled for his companions to bring the blood coral over. Duguyen nodded and put away the blood coral. Then, he asked, Is there anything else good? Because we just went out to sea not long ago, we only collected blood coral, Uncle Taishan said carefully. Duguyen's gaze darkened slightly, and he sneered. A mere box of blood coral will not be able to save your lives. The expressions of Taishan and the others changed drastically. Taishan hurriedly said, Sir, we haven't collected anything good for now. If we did, we would definitely give it all to you. I don't have that much free time to wait for you to go out to the sea to harvest. Duguyen sneered and raised his right hand. Demonic chi surged out, enveloping the fishermen and causing them to scream miserably. Sir, please spare our lives. Please, on account of your acquaintance with our ancestor, spare us. Taishan knelt on the ground and begged. The others also knelt on the ground and continuously kowed out to Duguyen. The youths were so frightened that they began to tremble. Duguyen sneered. So what if I know him? He's been dead for a few hundred years. Even if we had some friendship in the past, after a few hundred years, there's no friendship left. Since you can't take out any treasures, you can all die. As soon as he finished speaking, a black fog surged out. The black fog swallowed everyone on the ship. Shrill screams rang out. Before long, more than 20 people died tragically. Duge Yan's expression was indifferent as he soared into the sky and quickly disappeared into the horizon. The fishing boat carried more than 20 corpses as it aimlessly sailed into the distance. Not long after, two figures flew over from the distance. It was Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue. When the two of them passed by the fishing boat, their expressions changed slightly. They descended. Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue checked and found that everyone had died tragically. They're dead, but they haven't been dead for more than an hour. Lin Feng frowned. I'll use the reversal technique to see if I can recreate some of the scenes from before, Sikong Jiayue said. The reversal technique was quite magical and could recreate some scenes. But if it was too long, the reversal technique wouldn't be effective. Sikong Jiayue used the reversal technique. A scene flashed past. In the scene, Duge Yan stood on the boat and turned into a black fog that swallowed everyone. More than 20 people died tragically. This person should be punished by the heavens for killing the innocent. Seeing this scene, Lin Feng's eyes immediately revealed a dense killing intent. Chapter 698. These pirates kill people like cutting grass. This kind of thing happens all the time. Sikong Jiayue sighed and said. He lived in Ao Lai country. Ao Lai country was adjacent to the East Sea. Therefore, he had heard some things about the East Sea. Ignite this ship and let them be buried at sea, Lin Feng said. In this world, although people were buried in the ground after death. But that was for people on land. People who lived in the sea usually chose to be buried at sea. Sikong Jiayue nodded and ignited the fishing ship with Lin Feng. The fire burned fiercely. More than 20 corpses were ignited. Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue watched as the fishing ship was finally burned to a skeleton. Then, it fell into the sea. Sikong Jiayue understood Lin Feng very well. He knew that Lin Feng had always had a heroic heart. He had just seen these innocent people die tragically. He must have wanted to kill Duge Yan. Let's go, Lin Feng said. Sikong Jiayue nodded and followed behind Lin Feng, flying towards the depths of the island. 3 days later, when they passed by an island, they smelled the smell of blood in the air. Quick, let's go and see what's going on. Lin Feng's expression sank slightly, and he couldn't help but say aloud. He and Sikong Jiayue quickly rushed to the island. When they arrived at the island, they found that there was already a river of blood. Ha ha, the harvest on this island is not bad. Loud laughter rang out. In a village deep in the island, a cultivator walked out from one of the caves. That cave was obviously a warehouse built by the island's residents. All the valuable things on the island would be placed there. Duge Yan, it's that person again. Seeing the person laughing wildly, Lin Feng's expression suddenly sank. This guy is the pirate ranked 74th on the bounty list. He's really vicious and kills people without blinking. What should we do now? Sikong Jiayue asked. Naturally, we have to kill this person. Not only will we be able to get rid of evil for the people, we will also be able to get a bounty of 500 million. Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. He looked at Sikong Jiayue and said, This person's cultivation is probably very terrifying, and it might be more troublesome to deal with him. I'll go out and deal with him first. You hide and be ready to support me at any time, and give him a fatal blow. All right. Sikong Jiayue nodded. This was not the first time that he and Lin Feng had worked together. It could be said that they had a tacit understanding. Lin Feng did not stop and directly flew towards Duge Yan. Brat, it's you! When Duge Yan saw the sudden appearance of Lin Feng, a dense killing intent immediately surfaced on his face. Lin Feng snatched the source of the nether demon shark. This matter made Duge Yan gnash his teeth in hatred. Even in his dreams, Duge Yan wanted to meet Lin Feng again. Then, he would cut Lin Feng into 1,000 pieces. To vent the hatred in his heart. However, after so many days, there was no news from Lin Feng. However, Duge Yan did not expect that. Today, he would meet Lin Feng here. Lin Feng sneered. Duge Yan, I'll take your life today. Brat, you actually dare to boast in front of me? Duge Yan sneered. Whether I'm boasting or not, you'll know after we fight. As soon as he finished speaking, Lin Feng rushed towards Duge Yen. Sky splitting, sword intent piercing the heavens. Without holding back, he directly merged his sword and saber and slashed towards Duge Yen. Duge Yen was ranked 74th on the bounty list. This person was definitely an extremely tyrannical existence. Reckless bastard. Duge Yan's face was full of disdain. He only saw his fist sweeping over. A blood-red energy beast pounced over. Bang! The blood-red energy beast collided with Lin Feng's sword and saber light. Waves of terrifying energy fluctuations surged out. The blood-red energy beast immediately broke through Lin Feng's attack. Yin Yang Stage 4. Lin Feng frowned slightly. Brat, you're right. Is my strength enough to kill you? Duge Yen laughed sinisterly. Bang! Lin Feng used the Sky Tyrant Lightning Art to dissolve Duge Yan's powerful attack. At this time, Duge Yen was already rushing towards Lin Feng, his face full of a sinister smile. His expression was indifferent and cold as he looked at Lin Feng and said, Brat, do you think that I'm someone with a bounty of 500 million? Today, I'll let you know how powerful I am. As soon as he finished speaking, Duge Yen directly clawed at Lin Feng's chest. Boundless black fog surged out, and a pitch-black claw condensed within the black fog. The Death God's Claw. That claw quickly swiped over. Lin Feng immediately felt that this Death God's Claw was emitting an aura that made one's heart palpitate. It was as if the Death God had descended. Duge Yan's cultivation was indeed powerful. Even Lin Feng would have trouble dealing with a cultivator of the fourth sky of Yin Yang layer. However, this didn't mean that Lin Feng couldn't deal with him. Boom! A shocking fluctuation was emitted from Lin Feng's dantian. The 5 devouring martial souls instantly merged into one. The confinement magnetic field enveloped Lin Feng within a 10-meter radius. Under the ultimate form of the 5 martial souls merging into one. Duge Yen, who was enveloped in the confinement magnetic field, was also greatly restricted. His speed quickly decreased. What a strange martial soul! It can actually restrict my speed! But do you think you can escape this calamity? Duge Yen laughed sinisterly. The aura in his body became more and more terrifying. As the terrifying aura spread out from his body, Duge Yan's speed increased by a lot. Obviously, the powerful aura emitted from Duge Yan's body counteracted the confinement of the confinement magnetic field. Swoosh! At this time, Sikung Jiayue, who was hiding in the dark, silently hid behind Duge Yen. At the same time, Lin Feng was also preparing the Tao word, annihilation, to attack Duge Yen. Star-plucking hand. Sikung Jiayue slashed his palm at Duge Yen. This was an ultimate technique passed down in the Sikung clan. Its power was very shocking. Not good, there's a sneak attack. Duge Yan's expression suddenly changed. Although he didn't see Sikung Jiayue because his back was facing him. However, his sense of danger made him realize that something was wrong at the first moment. Whoosh! Duge Yen slapped his palm back. A loud bang was heard as he and Sikung Jiayue collided. Then, Duge Yan's body used the force of the collision to quickly retreat. Duge Yen wanted to use this to escape from Lin Feng and Sikung Jiayue's siege. If his opponent was someone else, Duge Yen might have succeeded. But his opponent was Lin Feng. When Duge Yen quickly retreated, Lin Feng had already moved. Ground shrink. Swoosh. With a flash of light, Lin Feng was already in front of Duge Yen. The Tao word, annihilation. He attacked. You! Duge Yan's face instantly paled. He didn't expect Lin Feng's speed to be so fast. It was so fast that he didn't have enough time to counterattack. Duge Yen used iron chains across the river, his arms blocking in front of his body. He hoped to block Lin Feng's attack. But Lin Feng's Tao word, annihilation, was too powerful. It fiercely bombarded Duge Yan's body. Bang! Duge Yan's body exploded into pieces. Ah, brat, you actually destroyed my body. I won't let you off. A vicious curse was heard. A cloud of black fog soared into the sky and rushed into the distance. The curses came from the black fog. Ghost cultivator, this Dugi Yen is actually a ghost cultivator. His body died, but his soul didn't dissipate. Lin Feng's expression changed slightly. He had come into contact with ghost cultivators before, so he knew how strange their methods were. He absolutely couldn't let Dugi Yen go. Otherwise, this guy could use the ghost cultivator's strange methods to quickly recover. Chase after him! Lin Feng shouted in a low voice. He and Sikong Jiayue were together. They soared into the sky. They quickly chased after Dugi Yan's soul. Chapter 699. This was a pitch-black sea. It emitted a gloomy and cold aura. Dugi Yan's soul had fled here. Dugi Yan, you won't be able to escape! Lin Feng's expression was indifferent, killing intent surging in his eyes. Brat, don't be complacent. It's not certain who will win. Dugi Yan shouted venomously. Swoosh. In the next moment, Dugi Yan rushed into the sea and disappeared without a trace. I'm afraid there's a trap down there, Sikong Jiayue said. Lin Feng nodded, his expression uncertain. After thinking for a while, he said, It's just a remnant soul without a body. Even if there's a trap, it would be as difficult as ascending to the heavens to deal with us. The two of them quickly came to an agreement and rushed into the sea. Lin Feng formed a barrier of light to protect himself. The two of them quickly dove. Not long after, they saw the distorted black ball of light. Dugi Yan's remnant soul was quickly flying towards the depths. Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue chased after him. Not long after, Dugi Yan's remnant soul rushed into an abyss. Restriction, there's a restriction in that abyss. Lin Feng frowned slightly. The abyss at the bottom of the sea. Restriction. All of these things were connected together. Obviously, that abyss must be quite dangerous. Sikong Jiayue hurriedly took out the divine shield. As long as he encountered danger, he could activate the divine shield at any time. With this treasure's defense, Lin Feng and Dugi Yan also felt a lot more at ease. They entered the abyss. All the way in. Then, they found a dilapidated palace in the deepest part of the abyss. Dugi Yan had already rushed to the front of the palace and shouted, Brother Evil Flood Dragon, this little brother has attracted 2 human cultivators for you. These 2 brats, their bloodline power is especially powerful, they are both delicious food. Brother Evil Flood Dragon, devour them, your cultivation will definitely increase greatly. Just as Dugi Yan's voice fell, Ghost Chi soared into the sky in the dilapidated palace. The baleful Yin Chi instantly filled the entire abyss. What a powerful Ghost Chi! There are ghosts and evil things inside. Lin Feng's expression suddenly changed. I know. It must be an evil spirit formed from the soul of an evil abyssal Wyrm. I've heard of it a long time ago. There is an evil spirit formed from the soul of an evil abyssal Wyrm in the ocean. It is extremely evil and specializes in devouring the flesh and soul essence of cultivators. I didn't think that it would be true. Sikong Jiayue's expression turned grave. Little boy, you're right, the evil spirit you're talking about is me, said the evil spirit. A deep and cold voice came from the palace. Next, endless ghost chi surged out. Within the ghost chi, the figure of a huge creature was tumbling. One could vaguely see that it was a pitch-black flood dragon. It was Lin Feng's first time seeing a black flood dragon. Only the most evil flood dragons, the evil flood dragons and the poisoned flood dragons, were black in color. Brother Evil Wyrm, are you satisfied with these 2 brats? Dugi Yan's remnant soul said flatteringly. Dugi Yan, you're at least at the 4th level of the Yin-Yang realm, but your body was actually destroyed by these 2 brats. What a useless fellow! The evil abyssal Wyrm looked coldly at Dugi Yan. Brother Evil Wyrm, you don't know. These 2 brats are more cunning than the other. I was tricked by them and my body was destroyed by them. Dugi Yan's voice was filled with resentment. I want to eat the brat in the black robe. As for the brat in the starry robe, you only need to eat his soul. You can take over his body and revive. The evil abyssal Wyrm's sinister voice sounded. Since Duge Yen was a ghost cultivator, then he must be proficient in a secret technique. Therefore, he had to take over Sikong Jiayue's body, using Sikong Jiayue's body to revive. It wasn't impossible for that to happen. Haha, thank you, Brother Evil Wyrm! Duge Yen shouted excitedly. A mere ghost dares to be so arrogant in front of us two brothers. You're simply courting death. Lin Feng sneered. Brat, just based on your words, it's enough for you to die 1,000 times. The evil abyssal Wyrm looked at Lin Feng with a sinister gaze. Rumble. Waves after waves of violent fluctuations were transmitted from the rolling ghost fog. The evil abyssal Wyrm's voice fell. Within the ghost fog, a huge flood dragon claw condensed. That was the flood dragon ghost claw. It directly grabbed towards Lin Feng. Sky Tyrant Thunder Art. Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. Dense thunderbolts suddenly surged out. They flew towards the flood dragon ghost claw. Thunder restrained ghosts. Therefore, when the dense power of lightning bombarded the flood dragon ghost claw, the flood dragon ghost claw was destroyed. The flood dragon ghost claw was directly blown apart. This flood dragon ghost claw was much stronger than Duge Yan's death god claw. However, it was restrained by Lin Feng's Sky Tyrant Thunder Art. After the thunder power condensed by the Sky Tyrant Thunder Art destroyed the flood dragon ghost claw. Then, it attacked the evil abyssal Wyrm again. Bang, 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 a series of violent explosions rang out. The surging ghost chi around the evil abyssal Wyrm was blown away. Ah, I'm going to be killed by the explosion. Duge Yan's remnant soul was swept by the thunder power and screamed again and again. Brat, you have some ability, but it's far from enough. The evil abyssal Wyrm roared and spat out a small cauldron. It was a small cauldron the size of a palm. Suddenly, the small cauldron quickly grew bigger. There were 4 fierce beasts drawn on the small cauldron. These 4 fierce beasts were actually the famous 4 fierce beasts. Qiongqi, Taobai, Hanan, Taowu. Those 4 fierce beasts seemed to be about to be resurrected. One by one, the fierce beasts let out earth-shaking roars. The abyss of the sea was shaking violently. The underwater palace seemed to be on the verge of collapsing. Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue were shaken by the roars of the 4 fierce beasts to the point that their faces turned pale, and their blood boiled. They almost spat out a mouthful of blood. Everyone felt dizzy and their bodies were on the verge of collapse. They were about to fall to the ground. At the same time, while Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue were fighting with the evil abyssal Wyrm, 3 cultivators flew in from outside the abyss. 2 men and 1 woman. These 3 people were wearing the clothes of Penlai Immortal Island. Obviously, they were disciples of the ancient holy land of Penlai. It should be here. Yes, it's here. Duge Yan's remnant soul escaped here. I wonder if those 2 brats caught Duge Yan's remnant soul? Duge Yan's remnant soul can't be a match for those 2 brats. There's a reward of 500 million. We must make those 2 brats hand over Duge Yan's remnant soul later. If they don't know what's good for them, we'll kill them here. The 3 people's eyes were incomparably cold. At this time, the roars of beasts came from the depths of the abyss. The 3 of them were shocked. There seems to be a great battle inside. Are the ghost cultivators' methods so powerful? Let's go and take a look. The mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the Oreo behind. Let's watch a good show before we act. Haha, I hope both sides are injured. When we act, we'll save a lot of effort. The 3 cultivators of the Penlai Immortal Island sneered and quickly rushed into the abyss, heading towards the deepest part of the abyss where the battle was taking place. Chapter 700. This is a sound wave attack, seal your hearing, shouted Lin Feng in a deep voice. He quickly activated the archaic dragonesque elephant art. He used the archaic dragonesque elephant art to block his ears. Sikong Jiayue did not dare to hesitate, and quickly used his Heaven Star Chi to block his ears. Only then did the 2 of them feel much better. Brat, do you think blocking your ears is enough? The power of the 4 ferocious cauldrons is not just a simple sound wave attack. The evil abyss dragon sneered. This is the 4 ferocious cauldrons. The 4 ferocious cauldrons of the 108 divine cauldrons? Lin Feng was shocked. In the divine cauldron list, there was a 4 ferocious cauldron. It was a supreme divine cauldron that alchemists dreamed of. However, Lin Feng did not know if this was one of the 4 ferocious cauldrons on the divine cauldron list. That's right, this is one of the 4 ferocious cauldrons on the divine cauldron list. Brat, I didn't expect you to be so knowledgeable, the evil abyss dragon said. It's really the 4 ferocious cauldrons. This is great. I dreamed of getting a divine cauldron on the divine cauldron list. I didn't expect to get one today. It's really a gift from the heavens, Lin Feng said excitedly. He was an alchemist. However, a good cauldron could not be bought with money. As for the 108 divine cauldrons, don't even think about it. Who would have thought that the evil abyss dragon would have such a treasure? Stop! Looking at the excited Lin Feng, the evil abyss dragon suddenly shouted. Its face was very dark. What did this brat mean? A gift from the heavens? Did this brat think that he could defeat it? This brat did not put it in his eyes. Thinking of this, the evil abyss dragon flew into a rage. In the eyes of the evil abyss dragon, Lin Feng was just an ant. Such a small character. How dare he ignore it? This was an insult to it. Evil abyss dragon, this brat is ignoring you. Quickly kill him! Dugi Yan's remnant souls shouted. Said Lin Feng indifferently. If you want to kill me, you'll have to wait until you're in hell. You'll never be able to do that. As soon as he finished speaking, Lin Feng took out the heaven-swallowing jar. He planned to use this treasure to devour the 4 vicious cauldrons. Die, brat! The evil abyss dragon sneered. Then, it continued to activate the 4 ferocious cauldrons. Roar, 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 4 powerful beasts transformed into phantoms. Roars rang out continuously. A terrifying wave of energy surged out. A ferocious aura filled the air. Then, the 4 ferocious beast phantoms pounced over. Devour. Facing the attack of the 4 beasts, Lin Feng activated the heaven-swallowing jar. The heaven-devouring jar flew out. Waves of destructive energy waves emanated from the sky-devouring jar. That terrifying fluctuation surged through the heavens and the earth, shook space-time, and swept out in all directions. The devouring power instantly enveloped the 4 ferocious cauldrons. The heaven-swallowing jar wanted to devour the 4 ferocious cauldrons. The 4 ferocious cauldrons quickly flew towards the heaven-devouring jar. Done! Lin Feng's eyes suddenly lit up. The heaven-devouring jar was truly worthy of being a Saint Emperor artifact. Even though it was broken, it was still extremely powerful. Brat, you still have such a treasure? If you want to devour my 4 vicious cauldrons, don't even think about it. Seeing that the 4 vicious cauldrons were about to be devoured by the heaven-devouring jar, the evil abyss dragon suddenly roared. Its huge claws waved. The 4 vicious cauldrons that were originally pouncing towards Lin Feng, they instantly flew back into the 4 vicious cauldrons, and once again turned into the 4 imprints on the cauldrons. The 4 imprints. Distorted space-time. Waves of terrifying energy waves. Emitted. After the 4 vicious cauldrons returned to the 4 vicious cauldrons, they actually resisted the heaven-devouring jar's devouring. As expected of a divine cauldron on the divine cauldron list. It was really not simple. Seeing this, Lin Feng's expression slightly darkened. Rumble! At this time, a loud sound was heard. The evil abyss dragon's huge tail whipped towards Lin Feng. Not good! Lin Feng's expression changed slightly, and he quickly dodged. But he was unable to dodge the attack of the evil abyss dragon. A loud bang was heard. The evil abyss dragon sent Lin Feng flying. Then, an endless ghost aura surged. The evil abyss dragon hid in the ghost aura and opened its bloody mouth, wanting to swallow Lin Feng. At the critical moment, Sikong Jiayue took action. He used all his strength to bring out the divine shield. Rays of divine light surged. The divine shield protected him and Lin Feng. The evil abyss dragon did not stop. It obviously wanted to swallow Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue together. Even the divine shield would be swallowed. Facing the evil abyss dragon's bloody mouth, the divine shield's divine light soared into the sky. The divine light that shot out. It instantly bombarded the evil abyss dragon's body. The evil abyss dragon could not help but let out a painful roar. Its huge body was swept away. Good chance. Lin Feng's eyes lit up and rushed towards the evil abyss dragon. He instantly arrived in front of the evil abyss dragon. The evil abyss dragon roared, "Boy, are you here to die?" The evil abyss dragon opened its mouth and tried to swallow Lin Feng. Lin Feng sneered. Light flashed in his hand. A treasure flew out. The treasure's Buddhist light soared into the sky. It was the Sarira that Lin Feng had obtained. The Sarira was a Buddhist treasure. It was the best treasure to restrain evil ghosts. After the Sarira was taken out, it instantly pierced through the evil abyss dragon's body. Endless Buddhist light surged. It spread inside the evil abyss dragon's body. Buddhist Sarira, why is it like this? The evil abyss dragon let out a terrified roar. Endless ghost aura surged out of the evil abyss dragon's body. The evil abyss dragon wanted to force out the Buddhist karma that had entered its body. But it failed. The Buddhist karma began to disintegrate the evil abyss dragon's body. I'm not willing to die like this. The evil abyss dragon roared in fear. It was struggling. But the evil abyss dragon soon found that no matter how it struggled and resisted, it was useless. The evil abyss dragon pounced towards Lin Feng, wanting to drag Lin Feng down with it before it died. Lin Feng's expression was cold as he used Sky Splitter to attack. Bang! The evil abyss dragon's body directly exploded. Only the soul source was left floating in the air. Seeing the evil abyss dragon's soul source, Lin Feng's face was filled with joy. He hurriedly collected the soul source. Then, Lin Feng controlled the Sarira to attack Du Guiyan's remnant soul. Du Guiyan was already scared out of his wits. He turned and ran. Pooh! But he couldn't escape at all. The Sarira instantly pierced through Du Guiyan's remnant soul. Du Guiyan's remnant soul also exploded. Du Guiyan died. Lin Feng stored Du Guiyan's soul power in a porcelain bottle and sealed it. He also wanted to use this soul power to exchange for the 500 million reward. This Sarira is really powerful. It instantly killed the evil abyss dragon and Du Guiyan. Sikong Jiayue looked at the Sarira that flew back to Lin Feng and clicked his tongue in wonder. This is a sacred object of Buddhism. It is very effective against these evil ghosts. Lin Feng smiled and quickly flew towards the four cauldrons. The biggest gain this time was the four cauldrons. Just as Lin Feng was about to collect the four cauldrons, suddenly, a flying sword shot towards Lin Feng as fast as lightning. It instantly flew in front of Lin Feng. The flying sword slashed down. He wanted to cut off Lin Feng's head. Chapter 701. The flying sword emitted a cold light. This was actually a high-grade artifact flying sword. It could cut through iron like mud. It could cut people like hair. Someone ambushed me? Lin Feng raised his eyebrows slightly. Coldness appeared in his eyes. The heaven-swallowing jar was still by Lin Feng's side. When the flying sword was about to slash at him, the heaven-swallowing jar emitted a shocking wave that directly enveloped the flying sword. Then, the flying sword was directly swallowed by the heaven-swallowing jar. Ah! A miserable scream was heard. Then, 3 cultivators appeared. The one who screamed was a blue-clothed cultivator. Just now, he used his flying sword to sneak attack Lin Feng. However, Lin Feng took out the heaven-swallowing jar and forcefully swallowed the other party's treasure. The connection between the blue-clothed cultivator and the heaven-swallowing jar was forcefully cut off. He suffered a backlash. His face was pale. Brat, you dared to swallow my flying sword. Do you know who I am? The blue-clothed cultivator's face was slightly distorted. Lin Feng kept the 4 vicious cauldrons. Then, he coldly glanced at the 3 people. The blue-clothed cultivator who spoke had a long face and an aquiline nose, giving off a gloomy feeling. There was also a green-clothed cultivator. This person was very handsome and extraordinary. As for the woman, she was dressed in purple, and she was also quite beautiful. These three people all had arrogant and ostentatious expressions. Judging from their attitude, they were obviously from extraordinary backgrounds. People from the Pumlai ancient sacred land? Sikong Jayue frowned slightly. The three of them immediately revealed an arrogant expression. The female cultivator said, "That's right, we are all deacons of the Pumlai ancient sacred land. The abyss dragon that you killed was the one that we heavily injured before. The soul of the abyss dragon escaped, and we chased it all the way here. We were about to take action, but you were one step ahead of us. We spent a lot of effort to heavily injure the abyss dragon. Could it be that you want to forcefully snatch our prey?" Hearing the female cultivator's words, Lin Feng really wanted to slap her. He had seen shameless people, but he had never seen such a shameless person. This abyss dragon had obviously been here for a long time. Moreover, the three of them were hiding in the dark and did not show themselves. He wanted to be the Oriole behind the mantis stalking the cicada. After failing to launch a sneak attack on him, he came up with such an excuse. "How shameless!" Sikong Jayue said with a gloomy expression. "Do you think we will believe your nonsense?" The green-robed cultivator sneered. "We don't care if you believe us or not, but the Maritime Law Enforcement Union will believe us. Hand over the evil flood dragon's origin, the 4 ferocious cauldrons, and the soul imprint left behind by Duguyen, and we can let you go. If you don't cooperate, we'll issue a warrant for arrest and report you to the Maritime Law Enforcement Union for colluding with Duguyen to kill the innocent. Tell me, will the Maritime Law Enforcement Union believe you two rogue cultivators? Or do you trust the 3 overseers of Pumlai? Shameless! How shameless! It was clearly these people who wanted to kill him and steal his treasures but failed. Now, he had actually turned black into white. Lin Feng and Sikong Jayue had worked hard to kill Duguyen and the evil abyss flood dragon, getting rid of the scourge that had harmed countless people. Now, these 3 overseers of Pumlai were slandering them for colluding with Duguyen. Who else could it be? Who wouldn't be angry? Pumlai is one of the top powers in the East Sea, the role model of the righteous path. How dare you twist the truth like this? Today, the 2 of us brothers have seen the glory of Pumlai. Lin Feng mocked. The female deacon from the Pumlai ancient holy land said proudly, "In the East Sea, the Pumlai ancient holy land is the law. Black can be white, white can be black. If someone says that you colluded with pirates to kill innocent people in the East Sea, then you colluded with pirates. If someone says that you're a demon, then you're a demon." Lin Feng was so angry that he laughed. How overbearing. Do you think Pumlai can cover the sky with one hand? The current leader of the Maritime Law Enforcement Union is a Grand Elder of Pumlai. What's the point of covering the sky with one hand? The female deacon of the ancient holy land of Pumlai sneered. The blue-clothed cultivator looked coldly at Lin Feng and sneered. "Kid, not only do you have to hand over all your treasures, but you also have to slap yourself 10 times. This is the price you have to pay for stealing my flying sword. Now kneel and slap yourself in the face. Then, hand over all your treasures and I'll spare your dog life." Ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Lin Feng suddenly laughed. The 3 overseers of Pumlai looked coldly at Lin Feng. "Kid, what are you laughing at?" "I'm laughing at how reckless you are." Lin Feng's expression was indifferent, but his eyes flashed with killing intent. This was the first time Lin Feng had seen such an arrogant and despotic person who could twist the truth. His heart was already filled with killing intent. Who cared about these people's identities? They would definitely die. "Kid, you've committed a capital crime. No one in the world can save you. Send a signal to the Maritime Law Enforcement Union and list these 2 kids as fugitives," the female overseer of Pumlai said. The blue-clothed cultivator nodded and took out a jade talisman. It was obvious that this jade talisman had the function of transmitting messages. As long as the Maritime Law Enforcement Union received the message, they would quickly notify the East Sea Law Enforcement Team. At that time, the three overseers would only need to delay Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue. When the law enforcement team arrived, they would be able to kill Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue. This was because every law enforcement team had a cultivator at the 10th level of the Yin-Yang realm. When encountering such a cultivator, Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue would definitely die. The blue-clothed cultivator activated the Jade Talisman. The Jade Talisman instantly shattered and runes shot up into the sky. The three deacons of the ancient holy land of Penglai sneered. They quickly separated and surrounded Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue to prevent Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue from escaping. The three overseers were all at the Yin-Yang realm. Although they were only at the 2nd level of the Yin-Yang realm, they believed that it would be very easy to stop Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue from leaving. "Idiot!" Lin Feng sneered. "Kid, you dare to scold us? When the law enforcement team arrives, we'll see how you die." The three of them glared at Lin Feng. "Did you really send the message?" Lin Feng waved his right hand. A powerful suction force surged out. Talismans started falling from the sky and Lin Feng grabbed them in his hand. These runes contained the message they wanted to send. As long as the message flew out of the sea, it would be sensed by an ancient Tao artifact at the headquarters of the Maritime Law Enforcement Union. The headquarters of the Maritime Law Enforcement Union could use the Tao artifact to contact the law enforcement team across an endless distance and provide support. How is this possible? The three overseers of Penglai were in disbelief. They didn't understand. How could these runes be intercepted? "I forgot to tell you that I'm also an Earth-tier spiritual array master. Even though the barrier here has been broken, I've secretly arranged a few hundred spiritual inscriptions to activate the barrier. This place is already heavily surrounded and no one can leave unless they can break through the barrier with overwhelming power. As for these insignificant runes, they only contain a strand of magic power. Wanting to fly out is as difficult as ascending to the heavens." Lin Feng's expression was indifferent as he shattered the runes with his right hand. He looked at the three overseers with undisguised killing intent in his eyes. Chapter 702. When they heard that Lin Feng was an Earth-rank Spirit Array Master, the expressions of the three deacons from the ancient Holy Land of Penglai changed again. They naturally knew what an Earth-rank Spirit Array Master represented. The restrictions here were terrifying. Since Lin Feng could activate the restrictive spells, he had to be careful. If Lin Feng activated the restrictions here to deal with them, at that time, only death would await them. "We're from the Penglai Ancient Holy Land. If you kill us, the Universal Sky Mirror of the Penglai Ancient Holy Land will be able to find out what happened here. You'll also die then," said Lin Feng. The female deacon from the ancient Holy Land of Penglai shrieked. "Complete Sky Mirror? There's such a treasure?" Lin Feng was surprised. Sikong Jiayue nodded and said, "I've also heard of the Complete Sky Mirror. It's said to be a peak Tao artifact with terrifying power. Many factions have even created similar treasures based on the Complete Sky Mirror's appearance and abilities. However, compared to the real Complete Sky Mirror, they're worlds apart." The blue-clothed cultivator shouted. "It seems like you know how powerful the Complete Sky Mirror is. Since you know, you should obediently let us go. This is a win-win situation for both of us." Lin Feng sneered. "Let you go? Didn't you just say that you want me to kneel on the ground and slap myself 10 times? Fine, kneel down and slap yourself 10 times. Then I'll consider letting you go. How about that? Brat, you dare to humiliate me?" The blue-clothed cultivator's face darkened, and his eyes flickered with a cold light. He was a deacon of the ancient Holy Land of Penglai. He was in the Yin-Yang realm. He had a high status. He had always been the one humiliating others. Who dared to humiliate him? But now, someone actually wanted him to kneel on the ground and slap himself. The blue-clothed cultivator was completely enraged. "You're not willing? Do you really think I don't dare to kill you? Today, I'll let you know the power of an Earth-rank Spirit Array Master." Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. He waved his right hand. Boom! a terrifying aura filled the air. The array here had been activated. A chain formed in the air and swept towards the blue-clothed cultivator. They were like chains of order. The blue-robed cultivator roared. "Brat, you dare to attack? Aren't you afraid of offending Punlai?" Lin Feng sneered. "Idiot, if yours truly was afraid, would I still attack?" As soon as he finished speaking, the chain had already swept in front of the blue-clothed cultivator. Bang! The attack ruthlessly swept across the blue-clothed cultivator's body. The blue-robed cultivator was sent flying. Pooh! The blue-robed cultivator was severely injured by the attack and spat out a mouthful of blood. His face paled. In the face of the attacks from the restrictions here, the blue-robed cultivator simply did not have much power to resist. "Is your mind clearer now?" Lin Feng coldly looked at the blue-clothed cultivator. The blue-clothed cultivator was scared out of his wits. "Spare me! Spare me! It's all my fault! I apologize! I'm slapping my own face!" the blue-clothed cultivator begged. Then he raised his hands. He slapped himself in the face. Pa pa pa! One slap after another landed on his face. The blue-clothed cultivator's heart was filled with endless humiliation. He was the deacon of Pinglai's ancient sacred land. Now, he was being forced to kneel on the ground and slap his own face. How could the blue-clothed cultivator accept this? The blue-clothed cultivator's hatred was monstrous. But he knew. He had to endure. It was never too late for a gentleman to take revenge. A villain would not wait for revenge overnight. The blue-clothed cultivator secretly swore. As long as he left this place, he would immediately summon the law enforcement team. When that time came, Lin Feng would die without a trace. Pa 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 pa, 10 consecutive slaps landed on his face. The blue-clothed cultivator stopped. "Can you let us go now?" the blue-clothed cultivator asked. Swoosh! In the void, the powerful array pattern that looked like chains of order appeared again. It swept toward the blue-clothed cultivator again. The blue-clothed cultivator was shocked. His face was pale. He shouted in horror. "You said you would let me go! When did I say I would let you go? I only said I would consider it. Now I have made up my mind, and that is, I will take your life." Lin Feng sneered. These 3 people must die. Because the hatred had already been formed. Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue had let these 3 people go. Would these 3 people be grateful and not cause trouble for them? Of course not. These 3 people could actually do such a thing as to distort the truth. This showed how shameless, despicable, and insidious they were. If they let them go, these 3 people would definitely summon the law enforcement team immediately. Lin Feng had also heard of the Maritime Law Enforcement Alliance and the Law Enforcement Team. This was an alliance formed by many major forces. It was to protect the interests of many major forces, to maintain the safety of the major trading areas, and to deter powerful pirate groups. But now, the Maritime Law Enforcement Alliance had long become the biggest backer for the major forces to seek benefits. The world of cultivators was so cruel. It's either you die, or I live. If these 3 people from the ancient sacred land of Palai did not die, the ones who would die might be him and Sikong Jiayue. Lin Feng would not leave such a scourge to threaten him. The formidable restrictive power slammed into the blue-clothed cultivator's body. Bang! A muffled sound was heard. The blue-clothed cultivator was swept away again. His body directly exploded. He died on the spot. The other 2 people were pale with fright. They did not expect that Lin Feng would really dare to kill them. "You actually dared to do it, you are extremely daring." The 2 of them were trembling with fear. "You 2 can die together." Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. Since he had already killed the blue-clothed cultivator, the other 2 wouldn't show any mercy. The chains swept towards the second blue-clothed cultivator. The second blue-clothed cultivator roared. But he also could not block the attack of the restriction here. "I curse you 2 to die a horrible death." The blue-clothed cultivator cursed bitterly. "Don't worry, we will live well." Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. Bang! In the next moment, the blue-clothed cultivator was killed. The female cultivator shouted, "Spare me, I am willing to serve the two young masters." This female cultivator actually wanted to sell her body. Lin Feng sneered, "Who knows how many men you have slept with before you dare to say such words?" Rumble. The restriction swept out again. Bang! The female cultivator was also hit, her body exploded, and her soul was destroyed. Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue did not stay any longer and quickly left. At the same time, deep in the East Sea, white fog lingered there. There was an island in the white fog. On the island, spirit deer galloped and red-crowned cranes leisurely walked. There. It was the famous ancient sacred land of Penglai. Ancient sacred land of Penglai. Primordial Spirit Lamp Hall. There were many primordial spirit lamps here. When one's cultivation broke through the yin-yang realm and condensed a primordial spirit, one could light the primordial spirit lamp. The primordial spirit lamp burned. This meant that the cultivator was still alive. When the primordial spirit lamp was extinguished, it meant that the cultivator was already dead. Two disciples were cleaning the hall. Suddenly, the three primordial spirit lamps that were originally burning, all of them were extinguished. Not good, the three deacons' primordial spirit lamps are extinguished. The two disciples' faces suddenly became pale. They knew how high the status of a yin-yang cultivator in the ancient sacred land was. But now, three of them had died at once. Something big has happened. The two disciples' faces were pale as they staggered to the main hall to report to the higher-ups. Chapter 703. Outside the primordial soul lamp hall, two disciples ran over in a panic. There was a thump. They knelt on the ground. "Great Elder, something's happened!" The two disciples cried out in a trembling voice. A dignified voice came from the main hall. "What happened? Why are you in such a panic?" "Great Elder, the primordial soul lamps of Nangong Shi, Shao Tianyang, and Song Jianhai have been extinguished," the two disciples said in a trembling voice. "What?" An incredulous voice came from the hall. Obviously, the great elder of the primordial soul lamp hall heard the news. He couldn't believe it was true. East Sea World. The Penglai ancient sacred land was now the leader of the East Sea Law Enforcement Alliance. They were like the sun in the sky. Who would dare to kill the deacons of the Penglai ancient sacred land? Even the 9 pirate lords. They would still give face to the Penglai ancient sacred land. But now, the yin-yang realm cultivators of the Penglai ancient sacred land were killed. Who would dare? Who would dare to challenge the dignity of the Penglai ancient sacred land? Endless anger. Endless killing intent. The great elder of the primordial soul lamp hall exploded in his heart. That terrifying aura made the two disciples kneeling on the ground tremble. Swoosh! The great elder of the primordial soul lamp hall flew out. He flew towards the complete sky palace. In the complete sky palace, there was the complete sky mirror. This treasure could scan the complete sky palace. Soon, the great elder of the primordial soul lamp hall arrived at the complete sky palace. "What brings you here, senior brother Ge?" The complete sky palace's great elder, Zhao Kuo, asked with a smile. Ge Tianjun said, "Junior brother Zhao, the 3 deacons of the Penglai ancient sacred land were killed." "What? Such a thing happened? Who would be so audacious?" Zhao Kuo's expression changed. A yin-yang realm cultivator, even on the Penglai Immortal Island. They had a high status. They were the backbone of the Penglai Immortal Island. Cultivating a yin-yang realm cultivator would cost a lot of resources. Every yin-yang realm cultivator's death was a huge loss. Now, 3 yin-yang cultivators from the Penglai ancient sacred land had died. The higher-ups were completely enraged. "Brother, please use the universal sky mirror to check the situation. Who's so reckless? How dare they challenge the dignity of the Penglai ancient holy land? No matter who it is, they'll be banished to the purgatory world by the Penglai ancient holy land." Gu Tianjuan's eyes flashed with a cold light. Senior Brother Ge, please follow me, Jiaokui said. The two of them walked deeper into the forest. They entered a large hall. There were 18 cultivators sitting cross-legged in the hall. All of them had powerful auras. Kui and Heavenly Lord Ge arrived. The 18 cultivators bowed slightly. Activate the universal mirror and observe the universe. I want to know who dared to kill people from the Panlai ancient holy land. Jiaokui handed the 3 primordial spirit lamps to an elder. Yes. The elder responded and placed the primordial spirit lamp on an altar in the depths of the hall. Then, the 18 elders began to circulate their magic power. Powerful magical power surged into the altar. Buzz. It was accompanied by a shocking wave of energy. A mysterious mirror appeared on the altar. The mirror shone slightly, causing the void to distort. That mirror was the universal mirror. The universal mirror shone toward the 3 primordial spirit lamps. Following that, densely packed images appeared in the full heaven mirror. Finally, the images locked onto a hazy space. Inside that space, only the backs of 2 cultivators could be seen. But their faces could be seen. It's these 2 people. However, something is interfering with the universal mirror. The universal mirror is unable to detect their shadows. Jiaokui pointed at the 2 figures that appeared in the universal mirror. Could it be that the Great Array is interfering with the universal mirror's detection? Ge Tianjun said in a deep voice. That's right. It's possible. Now issue a warrant for arrest. As long as it's issued, those 2 brats will definitely be found. Jiaokui said in a deep voice. 2 hours later. In the sky above the various cultivators of the Eastern Sea world, a loud and deep voice sounded. The Eastern Sea Law Enforcement Alliance has issued a warrant for arrest. The 2 demons who colluded with the pirates and killed the 3 deacons of the Panlai Immortal Island will be rewarded with 1 billion star stones. As the voice sounded, then, an image appeared in the void. It was the backs of 2 cultivators. It was the backs of Lin Feng and Xikong Jiayue. Only their backs? It's too difficult to find them with just their backs. Even if it's difficult, we still have to find them. The reward is 1 billion spirit stones. If we can catch these 2, we'll have a meteoric rise. Brother, don't you have some friendship with a deep-sea beast? Let's go ask the deep-sea beast. That's a good idea. The deep-sea beast can communicate with the sea creatures. Perhaps no one has seen the 2 wanted fellows, but the sea creatures of the Eastern Sea must have seen them. After the warrant for arrest was issued, the entire Eastern Sea world. It was bustling. Cultivators from various great powers. Of course, there were also countless loose cultivators. They all took action. A reward of 1 billion spirit stones. It was enough to turn someone from a pauper. They would become rich instantly. Lin Feng didn't know that he and Xikong Jiayue had become wanted criminals. Now, the 2 of them had found a quiet place to refine the soul origin of the Abyss Dragon. The soul origin of this Abyss Dragon was extremely powerful. If it wasn't for the fact that Lin Feng had a Buddhist sacred object like the Sarira on him, he and Xikong Jiayue wouldn't be able to deal with the Abyss Dragon. After devouring the soul origin of the Abyss Dragon, Lin Feng's soul power, it began to gradually increase. Originally, Lin Feng's soul power had already risen to the 2nd layer of the creation realm. But now, Lin Feng had already begun to try to break through to the 3rd layer of the creation realm. If the soul level could break through again, then Lin Feng's soul's secret technique, soul's small man holding sword, would be even more powerful. Boom, finally. A tyrannical aura surged out. Lin Feng's soul power began to increase crazily. I finally broke through. Lin Feng opened his eyes and revealed a happy expression. 2 hours later, Xikong Jiayue also woke up from his cultivation. He was also full of smiles. Obviously, Xikong Jiayue had also obtained great benefits. The 2 of them rested for a while. Soon, they continued to fly deeper. 10 days later, an incomparably huge island appeared in their line of sight. Looking from afar, Huge ships that were 10,000 meters long were sailing towards the huge island from all directions. Lin Feng even saw some ships with flags such as Great Li Empire, Great Tang Empire, etc. Those ships were all sent by the monarchs of the mortal countries. They carried a large number of treasures and went out to sea to search for the legendary Immortal Island. They wanted to use all kinds of treasures to exchange for the Immortal Pill. That's the cultivator gathering area. Sikong Jiayue pointed to the island. What a huge island! Lin Feng's heart was pounding when he saw the boundless island. On the island, people came and went. It was very lively. Chapter 704. The cultivator gathering place was bustling with noise and excitement. Countless cultivators came and left. This cultivator gathering place was as large as a small continent. There were a total of 18 cultivator gatherings of this scale in the East Sea world. In the cultivator gathering place, there were many law enforcement teams patrolling back and forth. It was to prevent people from causing trouble, or to prevent pirates from sneaking into the gathering place. Let's go to the square and take a look. The pirate Song Hu with a bounty of 200 million is going to be hanged. Someone shouted loudly. Many people rushed to the central square after hearing the news. The pirates who are captured alive will be hanged, Sikong Jiayue said. Lin Feng said, Let's go and take a look. Sikong Jiayue nodded and arrived at the square with Lin Feng. There was a sea of people here. It was extremely lively. There were even many cultivators floating in the air. In the center of the square, a bandit was tied up. The bandit shouted loudly, The age of great voyage must belong to the glory of pirates. Join the age of great voyage and search for the countless treasures buried at the end of the sea by the pirate emperor. Rumor has it that there are secrets to becoming gods, emperors, and even eternal life. The pirate who was shouting like a fanatic was Song Hu, the pirate with a bounty of 200 million. Many people were just there to watch the fun and hated pirates. But there were also some people whose eyes flickered. They were afraid that they would be bewitched by this Song Hu. In the East Sea world, pirates were rampant. It was not wrong to say that it was the age of great voyage. First, it was because the sea was rich in resources. The easiest way to get resources was to plunder, kill and steal. Just like De Guyen. There were countless pirates like this. Second, it was because of the legend of the pirate emperor. The great pirate emperor found the treasure passed down by the ancient gods. However, the pirate emperor was besieged by many forces in the East Sea 30,000 years ago, and died. The pirate emperor's treasure was said to be buried at the end of the sea. This attracted countless cultivators to become pirates. Shut him up! The Law Enforcement Alliance elder who was carrying out the hanging roared angrily. Immediately, a cultivator rushed forward and opened Pirate Song Hu's mouth. Then, he used a dirty and smelly cloth to block it. Then, Song Hu was sent to the gallows. His head was tied with a rope. That was no ordinary rope. Ordinary ropes would not be able to strangle these powerful pirates. The rope used by the Law Enforcement Union for hanging was specially made from the tendons of a flood dragon. Song Hu was suspended in midair. Hang this damned pirate! Many people shouted excitedly. Song Hu began to struggle violently. But obviously, it was just a struggle before death. Let's go. He glanced at Song Hu, who was about to die. Lin Feng no longer had the mood to continue watching. He turned his head and said to Sikong Jiayue. Sikong Jiayue nodded and the two of them left together. Hey, look, it's a wanted poster! Sikong Jiayue suddenly pointed at a public sign on the side of the street. Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue walked over. He saw the arrest warrant issued by the ancient holy land of Panlai. Moreover, it was an arrest warrant for him and Sikong Jiayue. The bounty had reached 1 billion. Look, don't these two fellows look like the two on the wanted posters? Someone pointed at the backs of Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue and said, They really do look similar. Could it be these two fellows? Immediately, cultivators responded. Many people pointed at Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue and discussed. Some people even wanted to make a move. Everyone must have seen wrongly. Lin Feng waved his hand and quickly ran into the distance with Sikong Jiayue. It's very likely them. Chase them! Many cultivators shouted. After getting rid of their pursuers, Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue changed into loose robes. The two of them found an inn to stay for the time being. They planned to rest in the cultivator gathering place. Then they would think about going to the ruins of God. Arriving at such a large gathering place on the sea, Lin Feng planned to collect some things he needed here. For example, array materials, spirit herbs, and so on. Of course, the most important thing was still the Heaven Rank Spirit Array. Lin Feng had the Earth Rank 12 scrolls. As his soul force gradually increased, Lin Feng's Spirit Array Master grade would also increase very quickly. If Lin Feng broke through to the Yin-Yang realm, his soul force would definitely increase greatly. At that time, his Spirit Array Master grade would also continue to break through. So, Lin Feng needed to find the Heaven Rank Spirit Array in advance. However, a Heaven Rank Spirit Array was not that easy to find. A Spirit Array of this level. It was incomparably precious. Very few people took it out. However, this gathering place on the sea was one of the places where countless cultivators entered and left the East Sea. People came and went. There were also many good things that appeared. He might be able to find a Heaven-rank Spirit Array. Night fell. Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue had previously gone to the Sea Law Enforcement Alliance. They planned to collect Dugi Yan's bounty. 500 million Spirit Stones bounty. These bounties were calculated in terms of low-grade Spirit Stones. 500 million Spirit Stones bounty. Even if it was exchanged for top-grade Spirit Stones, it could also be exchanged for 500 top-grade Spirit Stones. This was a huge fortune. Within the Sea Law Enforcement Alliance, when Lin Feng took out Dugi Yan's spiritual imprint, it caused quite a stir. Countless people had failed to kill Dugi Yan, and Dugi Yan's soul imprint had actually been taken by two young cultivators. Chapter 705. The attendant said, "That's right. This is also the immemorial Jiang family's auction house, but it's a little different from the one in the Sky Martial Continent. The immemorial Jiang family will take 70% of the profits in the auction house, while the rest will be distributed to the various factions in the auction house. But in the East Sea, although the auction house is a major shareholder, it can only take 30% of the profits. The remaining 70% will be distributed to the East Sea factions. Moreover, not everyone in the auction house is from the Jiang family. There are also many people from the East Sea factions." Lin Feng didn't find it strange that there was such a distribution method. The immemorial Jiang family had a huge influence in the inner continent. But in the sea region, their influence was only average. Therefore, it was quite difficult for them to get 30% of the profits. Lin Feng nodded and said, "I want to buy some things here. This is the list I made." As he spoke, he handed a list to Deacon Li. When Attendant Li saw the densely packed items on the list, a smile bloomed on his face. The more things the customers bought, the more rewards he would receive. "Young masters, please rest in the VIP room." Attendant Li smiled and led the way, inviting Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue to the VIP room. A beautiful maid poured tea for the two of them. Attendant Li then excused himself and went to prepare the things Lin Feng needed. About 2 hours later, everything had been gathered. There were 3,700 kinds of array formation materials. There were 15,000 types of spirit herbs. There were also some other things. In total, there were 90 million spirit stones. Lin Feng took out his crystal card and swiped 90 million spirit stones. He didn't lack these ordinary spirit stones. What he really lacked were top-grade spirit stones. "Right. Does your auction house sell heaven-ranked arrays?" Lin Feng asked. "Heaven-ranked arrays?" Attendant Li sucked in a breath of cold air. A heaven-ranked array master. At the very least, he was a creation realm expert. Attendant Li didn't know why Lin Feng was asking about a heaven-ranked array. However, He knew that if Lin Feng wanted to buy a spiritual array of this level, it would be a big deal. The level of heavenly rank spiritual arrays is too high. I don't have access to them yet, but I can recommend you to the elders of the auction house, Manager Li said with a smile. Thank you. Lin Feng cupped his fists. You're too polite, young master. As soon as he finished speaking, Deacon Li retreated and went to invite the elder of the auction house. Not long after, footsteps could be heard from outside. A middle-aged cultivator walked into the VIP lounge. Sir, this young master is the one who asked about the heavenly rank great formation. Deacon Li pointed at Lin Feng and said. The middle-aged cultivator clearly knew from Deacon Li that the auction house had just completed a huge transaction with Lin Feng. Therefore, he was all smiles. I am Jiang Chao, the manager of the auction house. How should I address you, young master? Jiang Chao smiled and cupped his fists. Lin Feng. Xikong Jiayue. After the two sides introduced themselves, Jiang Chao smiled and said, Young masters, please don't be so polite. Please have a seat. The three of them sat down. Jiang Chao went straight to the point and said, Lin Gongzi asked about the heavenly rank great formation. Do you want to buy one? Lin Feng nodded and said, That's right. I want to buy a heavenly rank great formation. I wonder if the auction house has one? Jiang Chao smiled and said, If it was any other day, there definitely wouldn't be one. After all, very few people would take out such a high-level formation. However, a few days ago, a mysterious cultivator came to the auction house with the intention of selling a heavenly rank great formation. It recorded a total of 72 types of heavenly rank formations. That cultivator asked for 300 top-grade spirit stones. If Lin Gongzi wants it, I'll go visit that cultivator tomorrow. We'll trade at the auction house the night after tomorrow. All right, see you then. Lin Feng cupped his fists and left with Xikong Jiayue. We actually managed to buy a heavenly rank great formation. Our luck is pretty good. Xikong Jiayue smiled. He wasn't a spirit array master. However, he knew how rare a heavenly rank great formation was. The value of a heavenly rank great formation wasn't any lower than some ancient secret techniques. Lin Feng nodded excitedly. With a heavenly rank great formation, his soul power would increase greatly after he broke through to the yin-yang realm. Soon, he would be able to break through to the heavenly rank. If he could break through to the heavenly rank, Lin Feng believed that with his cultivation and his attainments in spirit arrays, he would be able to kill a heavenly rank great formation cultivator. He would even be able to kill a high-level yin-yang realm cultivator. In the blink of an eye, the agreed date arrived. Lin Feng and Xikong Jiayue arrived at the auction house once again. Manager Li warmly invited Lin Feng and Xikong Jiayue to the VIP room. When they arrived, Lin Feng discovered that there was a 26 or 27-year-old cultivator in the room. This person was dressed in white and looked handsome. However, this person had an arrogant expression, which made Lin Feng rather unhappy. When he saw Lin Feng and Xikong Jiayue enter, he only glanced at them and didn't pay any attention to them. Lin Feng and Xikong Jiayue naturally wouldn't bother with such a stranger. Soon, Jiang Chao arrived at the VIP room. I'm sorry to have kept everyone waiting. I went to get the things that everyone needed. Jiang Chao cupped his fists. The three of them responded politely. The white-clothed cultivator called Wei Yifan said, I wonder if Elder Jiang has found the Purgatory Blood Grass and the Kunming Sword technique that I need? Young Master Wei, I've found the two things that you need. Jiang Chao smiled and took out 2 white jade boxes. He opened the boxes. In the white jade box on the left was a blood-red, palm-sized herb. This was the Purgatory Blood Grass. Lin Feng had heard of the Purgatory Blood Grass before. It was said that it only grew in places where countless dead souls gathered. Moreover, it could only be harvested after 5,000 years. This herb was definitely priceless. The Kunming Sword technique was also an extremely powerful inheritance. It was rumored that it was created by the ancient overseas wandering cultivator, the Kunming ancestor. It could be cultivated to the peak. The sword could connect to the gods. Here are the 4,000 top-grade spirit stones that we agreed on. Wei Yifan took out a bag of spirit stones and handed it to Jiang Chao. Jiang Chao checked that there was no problem and nodded with a smile. Then, he took out an ancient book. There were 7 words written on the ancient book. 72 pictures of heavenly formations. Lin Gongzi, this is the heaven-grade formation you wanted, Jiang Chao said. Lin Feng revealed a hint of joy and took out the spirit stones. He was about to give them to Jiang Chao. At this moment, Wei Yifan, who was about to leave, heard that it was a heaven-grade formation, and his eyes suddenly lit up. He took the Heaven Rank 72 Illustrations book in his hand. It's actually a heaven-grade formation. I didn't expect that someone would sell a heaven-grade formation. I want this heaven-grade formation. Wei Yifan smiled faintly. Lin Feng's expression sank. He said, Fellow Taoist, I reserve this heaven-grade formation. If you want it, you can also reserve it with Elder Jiang in advance. When Wei Yifan heard Lin Feng's words, his expression sank. He turned to look at Lin Feng. When he realized that Lin Feng was only a 10th stage martial king, a look of disdain and contempt appeared on his face. Chapter 706. Wei Yifan questioned Lin Feng. Don't you understand human language? He was obviously humiliating Lin Feng. Lin Feng's expression instantly darkened. Who was Lin Feng? He didn't bully others. Others should be burning incense. How could he be bullied? He glanced coldly at Wei Yifan and sneered. Who do you think you are? How dare you speak to me like that? Sikong Jiayue looked at Wei Yifan with pity. Wei Yifan's strength was extraordinary, and had reached the 3rd level of the yin-yang realm. But compared to Lin Feng, the difference was too big. Lin Feng hadn't broken through to the yin-yang realm yet. His savings were too powerful. Sikong Jiayue estimated. With Lin Feng's current combat strength, he wouldn't have a problem dealing with cultivators at the 5th or 6th level of the yin-yang realm. Dealing with Wei Yifan was naturally effortless. Wei Yifan was jumping around in front of Lin Feng. He was simply courting death. But Jiang Chao didn't think so. Even though Lin Feng was rich and imposing. But being rich didn't mean that his cultivation was strong. Jiang Chao naturally saw Lin Feng's cultivation level. 10th level of the martial king realm. Perhaps he was a disciple of a large faction. But it shouldn't be a faction from the East Sea. It was very likely that he was from an inland faction. During this period of time, because of the opening of the ruins of God, many cultivators from inland factions rushed to the ruins of God. In Jiang Chao's opinion, Lin Feng came from a large faction, which was why he was so rich. When he was inland, because he had the protection of a large faction, he could do whatever he wanted. But in the East Sea, he couldn't be so willful. Inland factions. Even the powerful Jiang family didn't have much influence in the East Sea. Not to mention other factions. The East Sea world had its own laws. So, seeing that Lin Feng had offended Wei Yifan, Jiang Chao felt that something was going to happen. Wei Yifan came from Star Luo Island. Star Luo Island was an ancient faction. There were many experts. Moreover, the most important thing was that Star Luo Island had a deep relationship with the ancient sacred land of Panlai. It was said that the first ancestor of Star Luo Island had once cultivated in the Panlai ancient holy land. Therefore, Star Luo Island was an extremely powerful force in terms of strength and background. Lin Feng had offended the successor of such a force. Wasn't this going to cause a huge problem? Wei Yifan's identity wasn't simple either. His grandfather was the Grand Elder of Star Luo Island's Hall of Virtue and Virtue. True enough. What Jiang Chao was worried about happened. After listening to Lin Feng's words, Zhang Zian nodded. Wei Yifan's face darkened. He looked coldly at Lin Feng and said in a sinister voice, "Brat, do you know who I am? How dare you speak to me like that?" Jiang Chao said, "Both of you are my guests. Can you give me some face today and take a step back on this matter?" "Good. Since Manager Jiang has spoken, I can't refute him. Brat, get out of the VIP room, kneel in front of the VIP room, and slap yourself. Slap yourself for 3 hours, and I'll spare your life. Wei Yifan had an arrogant expression on his face. Arrogant fool. Laughable. Lin Feng looked at Wei Yifan with disdain. Wei Yifan sneered. Brat, you refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. As soon as he finished speaking, Wei Yifan's palm struck towards Lin Feng. Water-splitting palm. This palm strike was accompanied by a strange energy that enveloped the area. That force enveloped Lin Feng. Lin Feng felt that his body was being squeezed by that force, and it was difficult for him to move. He could only watch helplessly as Wei Yifan's palm landed on his body. Even though the water is soft, it's also oppressive. Lin Feng can't move at all. Lin Feng is so generous. He's not an ordinary cultivator. I need to stop Wei Yifan. Otherwise, things will get out of hand. If things get out of hand, I'll get involved, said Lin Feng, sighing. Thoughts flashed through Jiang Chao's mind. He was about to stop Wei Yifan. But at that moment, Lin Feng had already made his move. Swish, sword chi. Blade light. It swept out. It instantly tore apart the pressure of the water Dao. The sword chi and blade light merged into one. It slashed towards Wei Yifan. Wei Yifan's expression changed when he felt the power of the sword chi and blade light. He didn't expect Lin Feng to be able to use such a terrifying attack. Wei Yifan's palm was surrounded by magic power. It was the water-splitting palm. It directly changed direction. It blasted towards the merged sword chi and blade light. Bang! The two sides collided fiercely. Jiang Chao saw. Wei Yifan was sent flying. He knocked over 3 or 4 tables in a row and fell to the ground. He was in a sorry state. How is this possible? Jiang Chao was completely shocked. He knew Wei Yifan's strength. He was at the 3rd level of the Yin-Yang realm. Lin Feng was only at the 10th level of the Martial King realm. Why was Wei Yifan in Lin Feng's hands? He couldn't even take one move? Jiang Chao even thought that his eyes were playing tricks on him. He rubbed his eyes. He looked again. That's right. Wei Yifan was indeed sent flying. Impossible, how could I be defeated by you? Wei Yifan's face was distorted. He was defeated by a Martial King realm cultivator in one move. It was simply a great humiliation. Wei Yifan wanted to cut Lin Feng into pieces to wash away the shame that Lin Feng brought to him. Martial Soul, Blood Dragon! Wei Yifan roared out. He unleashed his most powerful attack. In his dantian. Strong fluctuations. Surging. Immediately after, a bloody light spread out. In the bloody light, a blood dragon condensed. The blood dragon bared its fangs and claws and pounced towards Lin Feng. Brat, let's see how you block my blood dragon! Wei Yifan laughed sinisterly. He seemed to have seen Lin Feng being defeated and then kneeling on the ground to beg for mercy, only to be trampled under his feet. A guy who hasn't even comprehended spirit is as weak as an ant in front of me. Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. He threw a punch towards the blood dragon. Lin Feng's fist was surrounded by dense lightning power. Bang! The punch ruthlessly hit the blood dragon. The blood dragon directly exploded. The power of Lin Feng's punch did not diminish. Then, it hit Wei Yifan. Wei Yifan was sent flying more than 30 meters and directly fell outside the VIP room. What's going on? Look, it's Wei Yifan. He was thrown out by someone. Someone actually dared to throw Wei Yifan out. Who is this person? He's actually so daring. Sounds of discussion could be heard from the surroundings. Wei Yifan's face was distorted. He wanted to get up and fight Lin Feng to the death. But at this time, Lin Feng had already walked out of the VIP room. He waved his right hand. Formation runes flew out one after another. Those formation runes suppressed Wei Yifan's body. Plop! Wei Yifan, who had just gotten up, directly knelt in front of the VIP room. You said before that you would spare my life if I knelt in front of the VIP room and slapped myself? I really doubt that a trash like you would dare to say such arrogant words. Well, I'll return those words to you. Now, kneel in front of the VIP room and slap yourself for 6 hours. After 6 hours, I'll spare your life. As soon as he finished speaking, Lin Feng pointed at Wei Yifan. The formation runes that had been applied to Wei Yifan's body were all activated. It was as if Wei Yifan had been cast with a demonic technique. He raised his hands. Slap, 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 slap after slap, he slapped himself in the face. Chapter 707. Brat, how dare you humiliate me like this? I won't let you off! Wei Yifan's face contorted. What a humiliation! This was simply a great humiliation. He was a core disciple of Star Luo Island. He had a high status. He was quite famous even in the East Sea. But now, he was kneeling in front of the VIP lounge and slapping his own face. This humiliation, Wei Yifan felt like he was better off dead than alive. Who's that guy? He's too daring. How dare he humiliate Wei Yifan like this? He's only at the 10th firmament of the Martial King realm. How can he deal with Wei Yifan? This is strange. It's impossible for him to be at the 10th firmament of the Martial King realm. He must have cultivated a technique to hide his true cultivation. I'm guessing that he's a cultivator from the mainland. He doesn't know how powerful the faction behind Wei Yifan is. I'm afraid he's in big trouble. Many people surrounded them and pointed at them. This? Jiang Chao smiled bitterly as he watched the scene unfold. He had thought that Lin Feng would be humiliated by Wei Yifan. But who would have thought? Wei Yifan was kneeling in front of the VIP lounge and slapping his own face again and again. Lin Gongzi, look! Jiang Chao wanted to mediate the situation. Lin Feng knew what Jiang Chao wanted to say. He smiled and said, Elder Jiang, this matter won't make things difficult for you. You don't have to worry about the faction behind Wei Yifan. I still have 2 business deals to discuss with Elder Jiang. Why don't we go in and talk? Jiang Chao could tell that Lin Feng wouldn't let Wei Yifan off. He could only sigh softly. Since Lin Feng said that this matter wouldn't involve him, Jiang Chao didn't care. Jiang Chao ignored him. He said, Gentlemen, please come in. When they returned to the VIP lounge, Jiang Chao couldn't help but ask curiously, What else does Lin Gongzi need? Lin Feng smiled and said, This time, I'm not buying, I'm selling. I have a large number of artifacts. Spirit artifacts. Treasured weapon. In addition, there are all kinds of antiques, paintings, gold and silver, secret techniques, spirit formations, and even medicine recipes. I'm planning to sell them to the auction house. Will the auction house accept them? Jiang Chao smiled and replied, Our auction house will naturally accept these items. Lin Feng asked, Can I exchange the spirit stones for top-grade spirit stones? This, said Jiang Chao. It's not just auctions. Many influential groups trade low-level spirit stones. They're the most common spirit stones, and they're the currency. It's not difficult to exchange low-level spirit stones for medium-level or high-level spirit stones, but it's much more difficult to exchange top-level spirit stones. After all, top-level spirit stones are extremely rare. Sikong Jiayue asked. As an elder of the auction house, Elder Jiang has great authority. Do you not have such authority? I do have the authority for anything below 50 pieces. If it's higher, I'll have to ask the president. Jiang Chao said. All right, Elder Jiang is a straightforward person. How about this? I'll take out another item and sell it at the auction house. I need top-grade spirit stones for this item, and at the same time, I want to exchange the items I'm selling for top-grade spirit stones. Lin Feng said. Hearing Lin Feng's words, Jiang Chao knew that the item Lin Feng took out was not simple. He wanted to use the item to make the auction house's upper echelons give in. He wanted to exchange the rest of his items for top-grade spirit stones. Of course, this was not an easy task. Top-grade spirit stones were important to any faction. They were all scarce resources. Previously, Lin Feng was able to exchange ordinary spirit stones for top-grade spirit stones in the Law Enforcement Alliance. That was because the Law Enforcement Alliance had an unwritten rule: the bounty of any pirate on the wanted poster. They could all be exchanged for top-grade spirit stones. This was also one of the methods that the Maritime Law Enforcement Alliance used to hunt pirates. After all, exchanging ordinary spirit stones for top-grade spirit stones was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. And now, the Maritime Law Enforcement Alliance had given everyone such an opportunity. Jiang Chao asked, "I wonder what Lin Gongzi wants to auction." "This fruit." Lin Feng took out the golden flame fruit and handed it to Jiang Chao. "This is the golden flame fruit?" Jiang Chao's eyes widened. This was a true heavenly treasure. It could help cultivators break through to the yin-yang realm. Whether it was the Tianwu continent or the overseas world. There were so many factions. Not every direct descendant of a top faction could break through to the yin-yang realm. Perhaps because of this or that, they could not break through. But if they had the golden flame fruit, there was a high chance that they could break through. After breaking through, they would break through the shackles of the heavenly Tao. Their lifespan would increase greatly. Then, in their long lifespan, they might be able to obtain a heaven-defying opportunity to change their life. There were countless such things. The most famous was the founder of the Nine Heaven Gate in ancient times, the Nine Mountain Tao Master. He had lived for 195 years. He still had not broken through to the yin-yang realm. He was about to die of old age. He had obtained a golden flame fruit by chance and ate it, breaking through to the yin-yang realm. His lifespan increased greatly. Later on, he obtained another opportunity. His cultivation rose steadily. Then, he established the Nine Heaven Gate. He became one of the supergiants of his era. Of course, there were many such things. Thus, Jiang Chao knew the value of this golden flame fruit. "Lin Gongzi, don't worry, leave this to me." Jiang Chao immediately patted his chest and agreed. There was a golden flame fruit. He believed that no matter how many things Lin Feng took out to exchange for top-grade spirit stones, the higher-ups would agree. Exchange all the items in these 100 storage rings for top-grade spirit stones. Lin Feng handed over 100 storage rings to Jiang Chao. Ancient battlefield of gods and devils. Thunderblade's secret realm. And so on. Over the years, Lin Feng had obtained storage rings from many cultivators. Of course, the most precious one was the dozens of yin-yang realm experts who had fought outside the God Luo cliff. After killing those people, their storage rings were all taken by Lin Feng. These top experts had many treasures on them. Lin Feng and the others gathered together, trying to find an opportunity to exchange for top-level spiritual stones. "Lin Gongzi, wait a moment! I'll go ask the higher-ups now." Jiang Chao stood up. Lin Feng nodded. Jiang Chao left. 2 hours later, Jiang Chao returned. He smiled and said, "All the items have been exchanged for top-grade spirit stones. There are a total of 3,200 top-grade spirit stones. Lin Gongzi, check them." Lin Feng took the bag of spirit stones, checked it, and nodded. The corners of his mouth curled into a smile. With these top-grade spirit stones, he should have enough top-grade spirit stones to break through to the yin-yang realm. At the same time, he sighed in his heart. No wonder so many people wanted to be pirates. Killing people for treasures. They could quickly accumulate a lot of wealth in a short period of time. This could be considered a shortcut. At this time, Jiang Chao said, "This is the contract for the auction of the golden flame fruit. During this period of time, our auction house will use the opportunity of the various large factions resting at the gathering place to promote the golden flame fruit. In 10 days, the auction will be held. At that time, the golden flame fruit will be auctioned. Our auction house will bear all the expenses. The final profit from the auction will be 30%. Lin Gongzi, what do you think?" "All right, deal." Lin Feng nodded and signed the contract. Chapter 708. Lin Feng and Xikong Jiayue left together. At this moment, in front of the VIP room, people were coming and going. Many people were gathered here. They were pointing at each other. Not good, it's senior brother Wei. At this moment, a few Star Luo Island cultivators squeezed into the crowd. Wei Yifan, who was on the ground, had a drastic change in expression. Senior brother Wei, what happened? A disciple asked. Hurry up and invite the sect elders to come and help me break this damned restriction. Wei Yifan's face was distorted. At this moment, Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue had already returned to their residence. Lin Feng took out the 72 heavenly array diagrams. He opened the book. There were 7 types of great arrays recorded in the 72 heavenly array diagrams. 65 types of spirit array techniques. The 7 basic great arrays were Devouring God, Blood Wolf, Sword Sea, Axe Shadow, Devil Transformation, 9 Vicious, and Evil Technique. These 7 great arrays each had their own wonders. And each great array was extremely powerful. Once it was set up, it could display a power that could destroy the heavens and earth. It could even easily trap and kill a cultivator at the peak of the yin-yang realm. Other than that, the power of these heaven-rank spirit array techniques was also not simple. For example, a spirit array technique like the Heavenly Demon Kill was recorded in it. It was a technique that condensed the power of the heavenly demon and turned it into an evil charming heavenly demon. Not only could this evil charming heavenly demon bewitch people, but it also had an extremely powerful attack power. Lin Feng carefully read the contents of the 72 heavenly array diagrams. The arrays and spirit array techniques recorded in it. As expected, it was not something an earth rank array could compare to. While Lin Feng was quietly reading the 72 heavenly array diagrams, a yin-yang realm spirit array master from Star Luo Island came to the auction house. Get out of the way! It's Shui Yongyuan! At this moment, someone shouted loudly. Immediately, waves of exclamations sounded. This Shui Yongyuan was not a simple person. This person was a peak profound rank spirit array master. And he was only 30 years old. Such a young peak profound rank spirit array master. His future was limitless. It's said that Shui Yongyuan is about to become an earth rank spiritual array master. A 30-year-old earth rank spiritual array master is simply a monstrous talent. That's right. I don't know how many spirit array masters have been unable to break through to the earth rank spirit array master in their entire lives. Now, Shui Yongyuan is about to break through at the age of 30. He is also famous among the Eastern Sea World Spirit Array Masters. It is said that he has attracted the attention of the Spirit Array Masters Guild's upper echelons. Many people were talking about it. His gaze was filled with envy. A Spirit Array Master was the noblest profession in the world. It was already a very high probability for one official Spirit Array Master to appear out of 10 million cultivators. Becoming a Spirit Array Master was only the first step. 90% of the Spirit Array Masters found it difficult to break through to the profound rank. It was even more difficult for a profound rank Spirit Array Master to break through to the Earth rank. To become a powerful Spiritual Array Master, one needed more than just talent. He also needed comprehension. Some people's soul power had clearly reached the level where they could break through to the profound rank. Why couldn't he break through? It was because he didn't have enough comprehension. Talent was one thing. Comprehension was another aspect. None of them could be missing. People like Lin Feng, whose talent and comprehension were both monstrous, were too rare. Shui Yongyuan clearly enjoyed the envious gazes of the surrounding people. This person walked over with an arrogant expression. When he arrived at the entrance of the VIP room, Wei Yifan was on the ground. Shui Yongyuan's face darkened slightly. Junior brother Wei, what's going on? Shui Yongyuan frowned and asked. Senior brother Shui, it's great that you came. Hurry up and save me. I fell into a brat's trap and was placed under a restriction. My body is out of control, Wei Yifan said as he slapped his own face. By now, his face had long been mutilated by his own slaps. Wei Yifan wanted to stop. However, he couldn't stop at all. You mean a brat? Could it be that the person who attacked you was a young cultivator? Shui Yongyuan raised his eyebrows slightly. Around 20 years old, Wei Yifan said with a sad face. Senior Brother Shui, hurry up and help me. I don't want to stay in this place for a moment longer. A young man around 20 years old? A disdainful expression immediately appeared on Shui Yongyuan's face. In his eyes. Although the other party was a spirit array master. But he was only around 20 years old. What kind of powerful spirit array master could he be? Shui Yongyuan said. Junior Brother Wei, you are a yin-yang realm cultivator after all. To think that you would be suppressed here with a restriction. Forget it, I will save you now, but you have already humiliated our Star Luo Island by kneeling here and slapping your own face. When the time comes for the sect to punish you, you have to be mentally prepared. Wei Yifan naturally knew this. But he didn't care. His grandfather was the great elder of the Hall of Morals. His background was deep. Although he had lost all face for the sect, but his grandfather was here. Wei Yifan believed that nothing would happen to him. Right now, the thing Wei Yifan wanted to do the most was to find Lin Feng. Then, he would cut Lin Feng into 1,000 pieces. Only in this way would he be able to wash away the shame in his heart. At this moment, Shui Yongyuan had already begun to break Lin Feng's great array. Shui Yongyuan stood proudly. His hands continuously moved, and lines of energy condensed into array patterns that coiled around his fingertips. Quickly condense an array in the void! As expected of a peerless genius spirit array master. He actually managed to cultivate the formation in the void to such a proficient level. Even many Earth stage spirit array masters can't compare to him, right? Shui Yongyuan, who was condensing an array in the void, exclaimed. A proud expression appeared on Shui Yongyuan's face. Retreat! Otherwise, even you will be suppressed. Just as Shui Yongyuan was about to break the great array on Wei Yifan's body, suddenly, an array pattern distorted. Lin Feng's voice came out. Lin Feng left a mark on the array pattern. He felt that Shui Yongyuan was condensing the array pattern to break the restriction that was suppressing Wei Yifan. He warned him. Shui Yongyuan sneered and said, Brat, who do you think you are? You actually dare to leave behind a divine sense to warn me? Now I will break your restriction and capture you. I will not kill you. I will use the same method to make you kneel in front of the VIP room and slap your own face. As expected of a top-notch spirit array master, he's really domineering. That brat is out of luck. With Shui Yongyuan making a move, that brat will not be able to escape. Many people immediately began to discuss. Especially many female cultivators and Shui Yongyuan, whose chi was exposed. All of them were seeing stars and were filled with admiration. Break! Shui Yongyuan shouted in a low voice. He struck out with his palm. Dense array patterns intertwined. Then, those array patterns swept towards the restriction that was suppressing Wei Yifan. At this moment, distorted array patterns suddenly swept out from Wei Yifan's body. These were the array patterns that Lin Feng had set up. Those array patterns instantly collided with the array patterns that Shui Yongyuan had set up. The array patterns that Shui Yongyuan had set up were instantly destroyed. Then, the array patterns that Lin Feng had set up swept towards Shui Yongyuan. This is impossible! Shui Yongyuan roared in disbelief. He couldn't accept this. How could the array patterns that he had set up be broken in an instant? Bang! At this moment, the array patterns that Lin Feng had set up also swept towards Shui Yongyuan's body. Shui Yongyuan couldn't bear it. With a plop, Shui Yongyuan was actually suppressed to the ground by the array patterns that Lin Feng had set up. Then, just like Wei Yifan, Shui Yongyuan raised his hands. Slap, slap, slap. One slap after another, he slapped himself. Oh my God, what the hell happened? Everyone cried out in disbelief. Shui Yongyuan, a peak profound stage spirit array master. Such a terrifying spirit array master. How could he be suppressed by the array patterns that the young man had set up? Who exactly was that young man? Weren't the array patterns that he had left behind too terrifying? What level of spirit array master was he? Deep shock surged in everyone's hearts. Announcement. App for Android, Apple's exclusive version. Goodbye to all advertisements. Please follow the official WeChat account to download and install. Appsid. Chapter 709. Elder Shui Yongyuan, who came to rescue Wei Yifan, was also suppressed by Lin Gongzi's array. Deacon Li hurriedly ran to Jiang Chao to report. Jiang Chao had tried his best not to care about this matter. Instead, he wanted Lin Feng and the people of Star Luo Island to settle their grudges. But now that he heard Deacon Li's report, he turned pale with fright. He didn't expect things to get worse and worse. Even Shui Yongyuan was suppressed. Jiang Chao knew this Shui Yongyuan. He knew that Shui Yongyuan was not a simple person, although he was young. But his attainments in array formations were very high. Why was even Shui Yongyuan kneeling on the ground? Could it be that the array set up by Lin Feng was so powerful? That guy looked to be around 20 years old. And he was an Earth Stage Spirit Array Master? Thinking of this, Jiang Chao felt waves of shock in his heart. An Earth Stage Spirit Array Master around the age of 20? Wasn't this too monstrous? Are you sure you're not mistaken? Jiang Chao asked. Even now, he still couldn't believe it. Deacon Li said, Elder, even if this subordinate saw wrongly, there were so many people here. Could it be that they all saw wrongly? It must be Shui Yongyuan, this subordinate is sure. Jiang Chao hurriedly said. Tell me in detail about the situation at that time. Deacon Li said. At that time, Shui Yongyuan wanted to break the restriction that Lin Gongzi had placed on Wei Yifan, but who would have thought that when Shui Yongyuan made his move, the restriction on Wei Yifan's body seemed to have come to life and instantly broke Shui Yongyuan's array pattern, then suppressed Shui Yongyuan. Amazing, truly amazing! Jiang Chao clapped his hands fiercely and said, That Shui Yongyuan is said to be about to break through to the Earth stage. But the array pattern left behind by Lin Feng instantly suppressed Shui Yongyuan. Even a low-level Earth stage array pattern can't reach such a powerful level. That Lin Feng is at least a mid-level Earth stage, or even a high-level Earth stage Spirit Array Master. As he said this, Jiang Chao's eyes flashed with a bright light. He naturally knew what it meant for a mid-level Earth stage Spirit Array Master to be alive. I'll go see the president. Jiang Chao quickly left, arriving outside a room on the 5th floor of the auction house. Jiang Chao then respectfully said, Jiang Chao requests an audience. Come in. An old voice sounded. Jiang Chao pushed open the door and walked in with a respectful expression. When he entered the room, he found that there were 2 old men inside. The 2 old men were drinking tea. The old man on the left wore a gray robe. His beard and hair had already turned white. He was the person in charge of the auction house, President Jiang Tiando. The elder beside Jiang Tiando wore a Spirit Array Master's robe. This person was Murong Baichuan, the person in charge of the Overseas Spirit Array Caster Guild. Greetings, Guild Master! Greetings, Senior Murong. Jiang Chao bowed respectfully. So it's little Jiang. We haven't seen each other for many years. Murong Baichuan smiled slightly. I should visit you more often, but you're busy with the matters of the Spirit Spellcaster Guild, so I don't dare to disturb you. Jiang Chao said. Haha, you're much more sly than when you were young. Murong Baichuan smiled. Jiang Tiando asked, Is something the matter? President, there was a conflict downstairs. The young cultivator who wanted to auction the golden flame fruit had a conflict with Wei Yifan of Xingluo Island. He defeated Wei Yifan and used a restriction to suppress him. Wei Yifan is still kneeling outside the VIP room. Jiang Chao said. Oh? Isn't that kid at the 10th Heavenly Layer Martial King realm? He actually defeated Wei Yifan? And he's also a Spirit Array Master? Jiang Tiando was slightly surprised. He had heard Jiang Chao mention Lin Feng's cultivation level before. Jiang Chao smiled bitterly and said, That's right. That kid is abnormally strong. It's very likely that he suppressed himself. Of course, it's also possible that he cultivated a secret technique to hide his true cultivation level. At this moment, Murong Baichuan's interest was piqued. He had heard that Lin Feng was also a Spirit Array Master. You're saying that the kid used a Spirit Array to suppress Wei Yifan? Murong Baichuan asked. Jiang Chao nodded and said with a serious expression, The most terrifying thing is that even Shui Yongyuan, who came to save Wei Yifan, was suppressed. What? Shui Yongyuan was also suppressed? Shui Yongyuan is about to break through to the Earth rank, how could he be suppressed? Murong Baichuan said in disbelief. Peak profound rank Spirit Array Master. Even in the Spirit Array Master Guild, he had a very high status. Earth rank Spirit Array Master. In the Spirit Array Master Guild, he could hold the position of Great Elder. As for Heaven rank Spirit Array Master, in the Spirit Array Master Guild, he could directly hold the position of Vice President of the Central Union. Or he could choose to be transferred elsewhere. For example, he could be transferred to the 72 northern states to be the General Manager of the Spirit Array Master Guild. Or he could be the General Manager of the Spirit Array Master Guild in a place like the East Sea World. Shui Yongyuan, who was about to break through to the Earth rank, was actually suppressed. It was indeed hard to believe. No wonder Murong Baichuan was so shocked. Jiang Tianlo said. How was Shui Yongyuan suppressed? Or was it that kid called Lin Feng? No, it wasn't Lin Feng who did it. Jiang Chao said. Phew. At this moment, Murong Baichuan and Jiang Tianlo heaved a sigh of relief. If Lin Feng, a 20-year-old Spirit Array Master, suppressed Shui Yongyuan, who was about to break through to the Earth rank, that was too heaven-defying. So it was someone else who did it, at this moment, Jiang Chao said. It was the array pattern left behind by Lin Feng that suppressed Shui Yongyuan. Hearing Jiang Chao's last sentence, Jiang Tianlo and Murong Baichuan's hands suddenly trembled. The Spirit Array Master suppressed others. It was a completely different concept from the array pattern left behind by the Spirit Array Master to suppress others. It was naturally much easier for the Spirit Array Master to suppress someone. If the array pattern was left behind to suppress the same person, then the difficulty would increase by 10 times, or even more. However, Jiang Chao actually said that the array pattern left behind by Lin Feng suppressed Shui Yongyuan, who was about to break through to the Earth rank. Who wouldn't be shocked by such a sight? Jiang Tianlo was a little better. Because he wasn't a Spirit Array Master. As for Murong Baichuan, he grabbed Jiang Chao's arm and said excitedly, Is what you said true? Murong Baichuan naturally knew that if what Jiang Chao said was true, then, what did it mean for a 20-year-old Earth rank middle or even high rank Spirit Array Master? If he could rope him into the Spirit Array Master Guild, then the Spirit Array Master Guild's strength would definitely increase greatly. Jiang Chao said. Of course it's true. There are still many people watching downstairs. Hearing this, Murong Baichuan immediately ran downstairs. Old man, pay attention to your image as the person in charge of the East Sea World's Spirit Array Master Guild. Jiang Tianlo smiled bitterly. However, he also understood his old friend's excitement at this moment. Jiang Tianlo was also very curious. Was that youth called Lin Feng really as heaven-defying as Jiang Chao said? He followed closely behind and quickly walked downstairs. When Murong Baichuan, Jiang Tianlo, and Jiang Chao arrived at the first floor, they saw a crowd in front of the VIP room. It was extremely crowded. 2 cultivators knelt in front of the VIP room, raising their hands and continuously slapping their faces. These 2 people were Wei Yifan and Shui Yongyuan. It's actually true. Murong Baichuan and Jiang Tianlo were both skeptical at first. Now that they saw Wei Yifan and Shui Yongyuan kneeling on the ground and continuously slapping their own faces, they no longer had any doubts. The 2 great figures were deeply shocked in their hearts. It was hard to imagine how a 20-year-old young man could have such profound attainments in spirit arrays. Chapter 710. Sirs! Yes, the formation patterns are suppressing Wei Yifan and Shui Yongyuan. Jiang Chao pointed at the door of the VIP room. Yes. Murong Baichuan and Jiang Tianlo nodded. Old man, what's wrong with you? Jiang Tianlo asked. He didn't know much about spirit arrays. But after all, he had cultivated for many years, so he still had some insight. Jiang Tianlo could tell from the twisted runes that the runes that suppressed Wei Yifan and Shui Yongyuan were not simple. Murong Baichuan excitedly said. What an amazing array formation technique! That brat set up a total of 16 great arrays, and they were all medium Earth rank great arrays. He was able to recombine them all together. Amazing, truly amazing! He was able to recombine 16 great arrays in such a short period of time. I only grasped this technique when I became a heaven-rank spirit array master. Murong Baichuan's words also moved Jiang Tiando greatly. The two of them were about to go up and carefully examine the structure of these formation patterns. At this moment, an angry roar came from outside. Who dares to humiliate the people of Star Luo Island? Do you not want to live anymore? A terrifying aura spread out. A nebula surged over. Many of the surrounding cultivators were shocked away. At this moment, two cultivators walked out of the nebula. These two people were both wearing starry robes. Their auras were deep and powerful. Star Luo Island! Mo Yang, Mo Wu! Many people exclaimed. These two people. They were both at the 5th level of the Yin-Yang realm. They had worked together for many years and were powerful. Now, Mo Yang, Mo Wu! They appeared together. It was obvious that they were here to save Wei Yifan and Shui Yongyuan. Senior brother Mo, save us! After Yang Mo Wu arrived, Wei Yifan and Shui Yongyuan immediately begged. They also had no hope of escaping. How dare you humiliate the people of Star Luo Island like this? You must be tired of living. Brat, after we save them, we'll find you and cut you into 1,000 pieces. Mo Yang roared. Buzz! At this moment, the formation patterns on Wei Yifan and Shui Yongyuan's bodies fluctuated. An illusory shadow appeared. It was actually Lin Feng's shadow. Good fellow, that kid's soul power is so powerful. He actually left behind an image. Murong Baichuan was shocked. It was that guy who suppressed Wei Yifan. Shui Yongyuan, he actually manifested his own shadow. What kind of technique is that? It's truly miraculous. That person is too strong. I wonder if Mo Yang and Mo Wu can break through the formation he left behind. Discussions broke out everywhere. Many people were pointing and gossiping. Everyone was curious as to whether or not Mo Yang and Mo Wu could accomplish what Shui Yongyuan had failed to do. Is that you? Very well, you can wash your neck and wait for your death. Mo Wu glanced coldly at Lin Feng. Are all of you from Star Luo Island so arrogant? Wei Yifan is like this, Shui Yongyuan is like this, and the two of you are like this as well. How ridiculous. Do you think trash like you can kill me? Break my formation first, then we'll talk. Lin Feng clasped his hands behind his back, his expression indifferent. Mo Yang, Mo and Wu were livid with rage. Murderous intent flickered in his eyes. The two of them sneered. Kid, you'll regret your foolish actions and words in a moment. Boom! As soon as they finished speaking, Mo Yang and Mo Wu attacked. Mo Yang's mountain-quaking palm blasted towards the distorted runes. Mo Wu responded with a starlight punch. A cultivator at the 5th sky of Yin-Yang attacked. His aura was tyrannical. Many people were pushed back by Mo Yang and Mo Wu's powerful aura. So strong. I can't breathe. Hurry up and retreat. Many of the onlookers paled under the pressure of Mo Yang and Mo Wu's aura. They didn't dare to stay and quickly retreated. Those two want to use brute force to break through the formation. Jiang Chao narrowed his eyes. Jiang Tiando stroked his beard and said, Those two aren't weak, but that kid's formation isn't simple either. That little boy knows a lot about great deployment spells, and his deployment spells are very mysterious. Maybe his deployment spells are even more powerful than we imagined, said Lin Feng, shaking his head. Murong Baichuan's brows revealed a serious expression. When he first set up the Great Formation, he seemed to be able to see through its mysteries at a glance. However, Murong Baichuan was even more shocked. This was because when he looked at the formation for the second time, although there were still 16 types of formations, however, the way these 16 great formations were combined was completely different from before. Murong Baichuan still didn't understand what was going on. At this moment, Mo Yang and Mo Wu's attack had already arrived. Swish! Lines of runes intertwined and swept towards Mo Yang and Mo Wu. Break for me! Mo Yang and Mo Wu roared. A powerful attack brazenly blasted down. He wanted to directly break Lin Feng's great formation. Lin Feng's shadow sneered. This great formation was a combination that Lin Feng had deduced from the mountain-moving Taoist dragon-seeking art. When 16 great formations were combined together, any two of them could be constantly changed in order. It was extremely powerful. How could a cultivator at the fifth sky of the yin-yang realm break it? At the very least. It also required a high-level yin-yang realm cultivator to try. Bang! The two sides collided. Mo Yang and Mo Wu were directly swept away by the runes. How is this possible? I don't think so. Mo Yang and Mo Wu. That's a cultivator at the fifth sky of the yin-yang realm. How could he be swept away? Is that kid really only around 20 years old? This great formation is too heaven-defying, right? Exclamations could be heard from the surroundings. Everyone's eyes were fixed on Lin Feng's shadow in the void. Suppress. A low voice was heard. In the void, Lin Feng's shadow raised his right hand. Lines of formation runes condensed and pressed down on Mo Yang and Mo Wu. A terrifying aura surged out. That aura. It was simply suffocating. Sacrifice martial spirit. Mo Yang and Mo Wu looked at each other and shouted out loud. Flame world. Icebound world. These two people sacrificed their martial spirits. They wanted to use their martial spirits to resist the attack of the runes. Bang bang, two loud, muffled noises were heard. Mo Yang and Mo Wu's martial spirits could not withstand the attack of the runes and shattered on the spot. Mo Yang and Mo Wu were also swept away. Their faces were pale. At the same time, lines of runes wrapped around the two of them. Their expressions changed drastically and they wanted to dodge. But it was too late. They were also entangled by the runes. Then, a powerful force was transmitted from the runes. That terrifying force suppressed Mo Yang and Mo Wu. Flop, flop, flop. Chapter 7:11. Ah! Lin Feng's screams came from the room. Lin Feng collapsed on the bed, his face pale. He had a bitter smile on his face. Just then, he had tried to comprehend the contents of the 72 celestial arrays. But he had suffered a backlash. Fortunately, it wasn't very serious. Lin Feng sat up on the bed and hurriedly used the ancient dragonesque elephant technique to heal his injured soul. 2 hours later, it was as good as new. I don't have enough soul power to comprehend the celestial arrays. Lin Feng shook his head slightly and put the 72 celestial arrays away. Lin Feng, are you still cultivating? Sikong Jiayue's voice came from outside. Lin Feng opened the door and smiled. I'm done, said Lin Feng, smiling. It's a long night and I don't want to sleep. How about we go to Wanhua restaurant for a drink? Sikong Jiayue asked. When Lin Feng mentioned the 10,000 Flowers building, he remembered Bai Xingyi. He wondered if she had come to the East Sea. Or if she was still in Ao Lai country. Let's go to Wanhua restaurant and see if the women there are beautiful, Lin Feng said. There are some special features here. I heard that there are some women of the sea, such as clam girls and pearl girls. They're alluring, Sikong Jiayue said. Oh? They're probably demons, right? Lin Feng asked. They're not demons, they're members of the sea, Sikong Jiayue explained. The sea has already formed a group. Even though they're born with some racial characteristics, they're not much different from humans. It's just like how demons are different from each other. Demons refer to ferocious beasts who cultivate and take human form. They're called demons. As for bestial cultivators, after so many years, they don't look any different from humans anymore. But some strong bestial cultivators have the blood of their ancestors in their veins, and they can turn back to their ancestors. Once they do that, they can turn into bestial beasts, and their fighting abilities will increase tremendously. Perhaps that's the only difference between humans and demons. But then again, Demons can also return to their ancestral blood, but there are a small number of humans who have special blood in their veins. Those people also have the same ability as demons. Lin Feng nodded. He knew that Sikong Jiayue was talking about people with special constitutions. This kind of person. It was already a very high probability for one out of hundreds of millions of cultivators to appear. Similarly, among the demon race, demon cultivators who could achieve atavism were as rare as phoenix feathers and qilin horns. It was extremely rare. Anyone who could achieve atavism was equivalent to a human cultivator with a special constitution. They were all geniuses among geniuses, monsters among monsters. Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue spent a night together in the 10,000 Flowers building. Naturally, he enjoyed it like an immortal. Lin Feng was not an ascetic monk. On the contrary. After the Su Yueshi incident, Lin Feng was also completely speechless. Life is short. He should enjoy it when he should. She's a beautiful woman. He wanted to have sex with her. Then go after her boldly. If you don't pursue, sooner or later, your woman will be taken to bed by another man. In that case, he might as well go and harm the other party himself. It was impossible to walk through 10,000 flowers without a single leaf touching one's body. Then he would die under the skirt of a pomegranate and be a romantic ghost. This was life. Carefree. Unrestrained. Released the desires in his heart. The next day, Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue returned to their residence. As soon as they returned, the deacon was waiting outside. Lin Feng was surprised. Why would the auction house's deaconly come here? He cupped his fists and said, "What brings deaconly here?" Deaconly did not dare to be arrogant, and hurriedly cupped his fists and said, "Brother Lin, Brother Sikong, there are two important figures who wish to meet the two of you." "Oh? Important figures?" Lin Feng was surprised. In his mind, thoughts flashed through his mind. He was thinking about who the important figures Deaconly was talking about were. Deaconly said, "They are our auction house's president, President Jiang Tiando, and the head of the East Sea World Spirit Array Master Guild, Senior Murong Baichuan." "So it's them." Lin Feng nodded. These two people. They could indeed be considered important figures. Lin Feng had heard of Jiang Tiando before. It was said that this person was in the upper echelons of the Jiang family's 9 branches. His status was extremely noble. Murong Baichuan had naturally heard of him as well. He was the head of the East Sea World Spirit Array Master Guild. It was a name that resounded like thunder. "May I know where the two seniors are?" Lin Feng asked. "The two seniors are in the courtyard next door." Deaconly smiled. The inn Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue stayed in was a very high-end courtyard. Many small courtyards were located in an elegant garden. Lin Feng did not expect Jiang Tiando and Murong Baichuan to personally visit him. He said, "I'll have to trouble Deaconly to lead the way. Young masters, please." Soon, Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue met Jiang Tiando and Murong Baichuan. "Haha, this must be little friend Lin Feng. The two of us have been looking forward to meeting you for a long time." Jiang Tiando and Murong Baichuan smiled. Lin Feng was neither servile nor overbearing as he bowed slightly to the two of them. "Little you, we haven't seen each other in many years." Jiang Tiando and Kong Jiayue. Sikong Jiayue bowed and said, "Grandpa Jiang, I was careless. I should have visited you more often." Jiang Tiando sighed and said, "The road is long and filled with danger. Have you been well these past few years?" "Everything has been well," Sikong Jiayue replied. Jiang Tiando and Sikong Jiayue's elders might have had some friendship. However, their friendship was probably not very deep. His conversation with Sikong Jiayue was just a formality. Sikong Jiayue obviously knew this as well, so he did not say much. Murong Baichuan excitedly said, "Little friend, I heard that you're very skilled in formations. Today, I'm here to experience your formations." As soon as he finished speaking, Murong Baichuan took a step forward. In the void, densely packed formation runes were intertwined. They looked like tentacles moving towards Lin Feng, trying to bind him. Lin Feng couldn't help but smile bitterly. This Murong Baichuan hadn't even finished speaking, and he already wanted to test his spiritual array skills. However, Lin Feng wasn't afraid. To be able to fight with a spirit array master like Murong Baichuan. Regarding his spirit array technique, it would definitely improve greatly. Moreover, Lin Feng also wanted to use Murong Baichuan to test the power of the spirit array combination technique that he had deduced using the dragon searching formula. Lin Feng raised his right hand. Swish, with Lin Feng as the center. One formation pattern after another began to distort. Those formation patterns combined together and swept towards the formation patterns that Murong Baichuan had condensed. Bang! The two formation patterns collided in the air. Waves of terrifying aura. It pervaded the air. A formation combination? Murong Baichuan was shocked. His formation pattern was blocked by Lin Feng's formation combination, and his old face couldn't help but turn red. Murong Baichuan pointed with both of his hands. Hundreds of formation patterns condensed into a giant python that directly pounced towards Lin Feng. Formation Beast! Lin Feng was shocked. This Murong Baichuan had such powerful attainments in formations. Chapter 712. The formation beast bared its fangs and brandished its claws as it pounced forward. It was extremely ferocious. This formation beast was extremely powerful. Obviously, at this moment, Murong Baichuan had also used his true methods to deal with Lin Feng. What a powerful formation beast! Lin Feng let out a long roar as he condensed one formation pattern after another. Lin Feng displayed the spirit array techniques he had mastered to the extreme. He was able to activate 36 types of large arrays and construct a combined large array. Of course, this was extremely taxing on his mental strength. However, now, in order to be able to fight against Murong Baichuan's formation beast, he had no choice but to use his trump card. 36 large arrays formed a combined array. It directly swept towards Murong Baichuan's formation beast. Bang! The attacks of both sides fiercely collided. Violent fluctuations surged out. Murong Baichuan's formation beast was blocked by Lin Feng's combined large array. This, Jiang Tianduo was so shocked that he couldn't speak. Murong Baichuan had used formation beast. It was obvious that he had used the power of a Heaven Stage Spirit Array Master. Originally, Jiang Tianduo thought that Murong Baichuan was making a big fuss over nothing. In Jiang Tianduo's eyes, although Lin Feng's attainments and formations were profound, but Murong Baichuan only needed to display the level of an Earth Stage Middle or High Earth Stage Spirit Array Master. He would be able to defeat Lin Feng. But now, he knew how wrong he was. Even if he wasn't a Spirit Array Master. At this moment, Jiang Tianduo also knew how terrifying Lin Feng's combined large array was. After the formation beast was blocked, Murong Baichuan's eyes suddenly lit up. He laughed and said, "Good boy, you can actually use 36 large arrays to combine. Your ability is really amazing. However, if you only have these methods, you won't be able to break this old man's formation beast." As soon as he finished speaking, the formation beast suddenly roared. The aura in its body suddenly increased. The formation beast roared and rushed forward. A claw slapped out. Puff! The combined large array that Lin Feng had created was torn apart by the formation beast. This formation beast is even stronger than I imagined. Lin Feng was shocked. Formation beasts were equivalent to these spirits, cultivated by ordinary cultivators. It was very intelligent. It was connected to its master's mind. If Lin Feng cultivated to become a heaven-rank spirit array master, he could also cultivate his own array beasts. Now he was facing the attack of the formation beasts. Lin Feng felt strained. Use all your strength to condense a high-tier earth rank combination array to break the array beast. Lin Feng gritted his teeth. With his current ability, it was extremely strenuous to form a high-grade earth rank combination array. However, Lin Feng intended to give it a try. The more pressure he felt, Lin Feng was often more motivated. Even if it was just a spar. Even if he was facing a heaven-stage spirit array master. He had persisted for such a long time. In the eyes of others, it was an honorable defeat. But Lin Feng didn't want to be the loser. Was a heaven-rank spirit array master that great? He wanted to defeat me. This was not an easy task. Never give up. Never give up. This was Lin Feng's belief. He began to set up a high-grade earth-rank combination array. Waves of soul power that even moved Murong Baichuan spread out. Lin Feng did not hold back at all. Array patterns condensed one after another. What a powerful soul fluctuation! They could feel the soul fluctuation emitted from Lin Feng's body. Murong Baichuan and Jiang Tiando were both moved. If Lin Feng was a high-grade yin-yang realm spirit array master, he would have such a powerful soul power. They wouldn't be shocked. But Lin Feng was only a martial king realm cultivator. He actually had such a terrifying soul power. Wasn't this too monstrous? No. The word monstrous couldn't even describe Lin Feng. A combination array formed from 9 high-grade earth-rank arrays was displayed by Lin Feng. This was already the limit that Lin Feng could reach at the current stage. Because the soul power consumption was too great. Lin Feng's face was very pale. However, the power of the combination array formed from 9 high-grade earth-rank arrays did not disappoint Lin Feng. Bang, 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 this high-level combination array collided with the array beast formed by Murong Baichuan. After more than 10 consecutive collisions, the combination array set up by Lin Feng and Murong Baichuan's array beast had all dissipated. Lin Feng is so strong! His attainments in array formations can be described as godly. Sikong Jiayue was shocked. Although Murong Baichuan did not use his full strength, since he had summoned the array beast, then 70% of his strength should be there. Lin Feng was only a high-grade earth-rank spirit array master. However, he was able to break the array beast formed by 70% of Murong Baichuan's power. This was too unbelievable. Didn't that mean, when Lin Feng broke through to the peak of the earth-rank spirit array master, Murong Baichuan was going to be defeated by Lin Feng? What if Lin Feng broke through to the heaven-rank spirit array master? Sikong Jiayue could think of this. Jiang Tiando could naturally think of this as well. Huge waves rose in Jiang Tiando's heart. I must befriend this kid. In the future, his achievements will be limitless. Jiang Tiando couldn't help but think to himself. Haha, amazing, truly amazing. This is the first time I've seen your combination array. Who passed it down? Murong Baichuan asked. Lin Feng smiled and said, If I said that I researched this combination array myself, would Senior believe me? Murong Baichuan was stunned. Then, his expression became unprecedentedly serious. Murong Baichuan didn't think that Lin Feng was joking. If what Lin Feng said was true, then Lin Feng was too terrifying. Jiang Tiando naturally understood as well. He even believed Lin Feng's words. An old man was a shrewd existence. He could tell at a glance whether this person was lying or not. As an outsider, Jiang Tiando, it was easier to determine whether Lin Feng was telling the truth. Or was he joking? I believe it. Murong Baichuan took a deep breath and said, Ha! Lin Feng laughed loudly. But he didn't say anything else. Today's battle with Murong Baichuan, Lin Feng had gained a lot. Originally, he had tried many times to combine high-grade Earth stage arrays, but he had failed time and time again. And this time, in the battle, under immense pressure, Lin Feng succeeded. Little friend, are you willing to join my Spirit Array Caster Guild? Murong Baichuan asked. Lin Feng smiled and said, I have already joined a sect to cultivate, so I will not join another force, so I hope Senior can forgive me. Little friend, don't be in a hurry to refuse. The Spirit Array Caster Guild is a relatively loose organization. Of course, the Spirit Array Caster Guild gathers all the Spirit Array casters in the world, and its appeal is also the largest organization in the Tianwu continent. Even if you have a force behind you, you can still join the Spirit Array Caster Guild. It's just like how many people who aren't mercenaries go to the Mercenary Association to be certified as mercenaries. The Union of Spiritual Spellcasters doesn't restrict any spiritual spellcasters. On the contrary, the spiritual spellcasters of the Union of Spiritual Spellcasters can enjoy many privileges of the Union of Spiritual Spellcasters. Even spiritual spellcasters of the sky rank can be found in the Union of Spiritual Spellcasters. Murong Baichuan said. Lin Feng was shocked. This Spirit Array Caster Guild was indeed powerful. If he joined the Spirit Array Caster Guild, he would not be restricted by the Spirit Array Caster Guild. Instead, he would be able to obtain the resources of the Spirit Array Caster Guild. In the future, when he broke through to the Heaven Stage, he would even be able to obtain Heaven Stage Spirit Arrays and Heaven Stage Spirit Arrays from the Spirit Array Caster Guild. Hearing Murong Baichuan's words, Lin Feng's heart was already beating fast. He asked, "Then, what do I have to pay to obtain these powerful arrays?" "You need to do some high-level missions, but don't worry, these missions will definitely not be outrageous," Murong Baichuan said solemnly. "With Little Friend's ability, only by joining the Spirit Array Caster Guild will you be able to obtain the best training and the best resources. Furthermore, I can make the decision to let Little Friend become the Great Elder of the Spirit Array Caster Guild." "Oh? Great Elder?" Lin Feng was surprised. This was obviously a very high position. There are two types of Great Elders. One type is the Great Elder who holds a position in the Spirit Array Caster Guild and has real power. The other type is the Great Elder in name and does not have real power, but can enjoy the same treatment as the Great Elder with real power. Little Friend, because you don't want to leave the sect, you can become the Great Elder in name, Murong Baichuan said. "Is this Great Elder in name very powerful?" Lin Feng asked in surprise. Murong Baichuan smiled bitterly and said, "Of course it's powerful. The Great Elder only has a total of 732 people in the Spirit Array Caster Guild. If you want to go out and hold a position, you can be the Deputy General Manager of a large area. For example, the Spirit Array Caster Guild in the 72 northern regions has one General Manager and 2 Deputy General Managers. If Little Friend wants to obtain real power, you can be the Deputy General Manager. Little Friend, you should know how big the connections of the Spirit Array Caster Guild are. If you can become the Great Elder, then countless strong people will come to befriend Little Friend." Murong Baichuan did not continue, because he believed that Lin Feng already knew how to choose. It was indeed the same as what Murong Baichuan said. If he became the Great Elder of the Spirit Array Caster Guild, then his status would rise as a result. One had to know, there was no Spirit Array Caster in the Blue Cloud sect who could become the Great Elder of the Spirit Array Caster Guild. If Lin Feng's identity as the Great Elder of the Spirit Array Caster Guild was revealed, the upper echelons of the Blue Cloud sect would want to curry favor with Lin Feng. Not to mention an ancient force like the Blue Cloud sect. Many ancient forces would want to curry favor with Lin Feng. "Thank you for your recommendation, Senior. I will definitely repay you in the future." Lin Feng cupped his fists. Feng knew how to conduct himself. Murong Baichuan's face was full of smiles. He was so eager to recommend Lin Feng. Firstly, he cherished talent. Secondly, he wanted to get such a favor. "Haha, Little Friend, you are too polite. I will now go and prepare with the 2 Deputy General Managers to appoint Little Friend as the Great Elder. Little Friend, in the evening, go to the East Sea Spirit Array Caster Guild to complete the procedures and complete the certification. At that time, Little Friend will become the Great Elder of our Spirit Array Caster Guild," Murong Baichuan said with a smile. Lin Feng nodded. Appointing a Great Elder of the Spirit Array Caster Guild was not a small matter. This was a big matter. Naturally, some necessary procedures were needed. Lin Feng and Sikong Jiayue said goodbye and left. Murong Baichuan and Jiang Tiando did not stay for long and quickly left. Jiang Tiando returned to the auction house. Murong Baichuan went back to deal with the appointment of Lin Feng as the Great Elder. This matter still needed to be reported to the Spirit Array Caster Guild. Then, they would wait for the news from the Spirit Array Caster Guild. Therefore, they had to wait for some time before they could officially appoint Lin Feng as the 733rd Great Elder of the Spirit Array Caster Guild. Announcement: the app is online, supporting Android and Apple. Please follow the official WeChat account to download and install AppSid. Chapter 713. The East Sea Spirit Array Master Union was located in the first cultivator gathering area. To ordinary cultivators, the Spirit Array Master Union was a mysterious and noble place. This was not a place that anyone could enter. Especially today, it was obvious that something big was going to happen in the Spirit Array Master Union. This was because President Murong and the two vice presidents were instructing the deacons of the Spirit Array Master Union to prepare for the coronation ceremony. Usually, the coronation ceremony would only be held when there was a major appointment. Many Spirit Array Masters were discussing the upcoming appointment ceremony. Roar! In the distance, the loud roar of a dragon resounded through the clouds. 3 flood dragons pulled a gorgeous bronze carriage and flew quickly in the direction of the Spirit Array Master Union. The flood dragons pulled the carriage. It attracted many people to watch. In front of the Spirit Array Master Union, people came and went. More than 10 cultivators got out of the bronze carriage. These people, all of them were wearing the long robes of the Spirit Array Master Union. Obviously, they were all Spirit Array Masters. Countless gazes looked at those noble Spirit Array Masters with envy. These people surrounded a woman in her 20s like stars surrounding the moon. It's Li Xiyu. It's actually her. Many people immediately cried out in surprise. It was obvious that many people recognized that woman. That woman was also a Spirit Array Master. And that woman was very beautiful. Her brows were slightly raised. He had a proud look on his face. Who is Li Xiyu? Someone asked doubtfully. Immediately, a cultivator looked at him as if he was a monster and said, "Brother, you don't even know who Su Xiyu is? Heavens, aren't you a little too ill-informed?" Cough, cough, it's like this. I've been in seclusion for a few years, and I just came out, so there are many things that I don't know. The despised cultivator said with a bitter smile. So that's how it is. The cultivators nodded. One of them said, "This Li Xiyu is a genius Spirit Array caster. When he was 20 years old, he had already broken through to become a profound high-level Spirit Array caster. Now that 3 years have passed, Li Xiyu has come to the Spirit Array Caster Union. Could it be that he wants to be certified as an Earth low-level Spirit Array caster? A 23-year-old elementary Earth rank Spirit Array Master? Heavens, isn't this too frightening? This talent is too monstrous. If that's the case, doesn't that mean that Li Xiyu, who is 30 years old, might become an Earth rank intermediate Spirit Array caster? Becoming an Earth rank high-level Spirit Array caster before the age of 40? Breaking through to the peak of the Earth rank Spirit Array caster before the age of 50, and even breaking through to the Heaven rank Spirit Array caster before the age of 100? Immediately, a cultivator said in shock. Breaking through to the Heaven rank Spirit Array caster before the age of 100, such talent is extremely rare among Spirit Array casters. After all, there are only a handful of Heaven-rank Spirit Array casters in the entire Tianwu continent. Many people exclaimed in surprise. Li Xiyu was surrounded by the stars. He walked towards the Spirit Array Caster Union. No one noticed that Lin Feng had already arrived at the Spirit Array Caster Union. He was about to enter the Spirit Array Caster Union. Suddenly, a sneer was heard. "Brat, stop right there." Lin Feng stopped and turned around to see more than 10 Spirit Array casters walking over. He frowned slightly and said, "What's wrong? What's the matter? Don't you see that we're going in? Why are you so unruly? Why aren't you making way and waiting at the side?" The Spirit Array caster looked at Lin Feng arrogantly. This was because Lin Feng was not wearing a Spirit Array caster's robe. And he was so young. These people all thought that Lin Feng was someone who had come to the Spirit Array Caster Union to do business. All of them had arrogant expressions. Lin Feng raised his eyebrows slightly. He was about to say something. A guard from the Spirit Array Caster Union pulled Lin Feng back and whispered, Young master, these people are all geniuses from the Spirit Array Caster Union. All of them are profound rank Spirit Array Casters, especially that female Spirit Array Caster. Her name is Li Shiyu, and it's said that she's here to certify as an Earth rank Spirit Array Caster. Thank you for the reminder. Lin Feng nodded. He glanced at the group of people indifferently. He couldn't be bothered to argue with them. Lin Feng retreated to the side. This group of Spirit Array Casters entered the Spirit Array Caster Union. Little brother, are you also here to certify as a Spirit Array Caster? The guard asked with a smile. Lin Feng nodded. The guard immediately revealed a respectful expression. The identity of a Spirit Array Caster was high and mighty. The guard pointed to the passage in the depths and said, "Walk along the passage and enter the second palace. Wait there for a while and someone will come to ask you some questions. Then, they will bring you to the certification." "Thank you." Lin Feng cupped his fists. When they arrived at the second palace, Li Shiyu and the others had already arrived. Other than these people, there was also a doubt platform in the second palace. On the doubt platform, there were 3 stone statues. These 3 stone statues were the stone statues of the 3 ancient gods, Tai Qing, Tai Xian, and Tai Tian. It was the 3 of them who founded the Spirit Array Caster Union. It allowed the Spirit Array Caster Union to flourish for hundreds of millions of years. And every time a major event happened, they would worship the 3 ancestors. The Spirit Array Caster who had scolded Lin Feng earlier was called Lu Yu. This person was 27 years old this year and was an elementary profound stage Spirit Array Caster. His talent was quite good. He said, "Junior Sisterly, could it be that the higher-ups of the Union already know that you have broken through to the Earth stage Spirit Array Caster? Is that why they set up the doubt platform in advance to crown you? Haha, it seems that Junior Sisterly is going to become an elder of the Spirit Array Caster Union. Junior Sisterly has become an elder of the Spirit Array Caster Union at the age of 23. It is really admirable and enviable. This way, Junior Sisterly can become the youngest elder of the East Sea Spirit Array Caster Union." The group of people flattered her. Li Shiyu nodded proudly and said, "This is nothing. With my talent, I will definitely become the great elder of the Spirit Array Caster Union within 30 years. Within 100 years, I will definitely become a Heaven Stage Spirit Array Caster. At that time, I will be able to control a region. At that time, Junior Sisterly must think of us," Lu Yu said flatteringly. "Of course I won't forget everyone." Li Shiyu nodded proudly. At this moment, Lu Yu saw Lin Feng enter the second palace. He immediately frowned. He looked coldly at Lin Feng and said, "Brat, there will be a coronation ceremony for Junior Sisterly to become an elder later. Do you have the qualifications to stay here? Hurry up and get out." Lin Feng's expression suddenly darkened. "What? Do you want me to personally throw you out?" Lu Yu said with a cold smile. Li Shiyu and the others looked indifferently at Lin Feng. As Spirit Array Casters, they were high and mighty, so they naturally looked down on ordinary people. "The President and the 2 Vice Presidents are here." Lu Yu was about to make a move. At this moment, someone suddenly shouted. Dozens of Spirit Array Casters quickly walked over. The 3 people in the lead were the President, Murong Baichuan, and the 2 Vice Presidents, Wang Changming and Nan Gonghai. "Greetings, sir." Li Shiyu, Lu Yu, and the others hurriedly bowed to the 3 important figures. These people saw that Lin Feng was actually standing still. Immediately, they all sneered. In their opinion, this kid didn't even know etiquette and would definitely be thrown out. However, what happened next stunned the group of people. The President, Murong Baichuan, walked towards Lin Feng with a smile and said, "Little friend Lin, you're here. I was busy communicating with the higher-ups of the main hall, so I couldn't personally welcome you. Little friend, please don't blame me. Haha, this must be little friend Lin, right? The 2 of us have been looking forward to it for a long time." The 2 Vice Presidents, Wang Changming and Nan Gonghai, were even more enthusiastic. The corners of Li Shiyu, Lu Yu, and the others' mouths twitched violently. What exactly happened? Who was that kid? Even the president and the 3 vice presidents were so enthusiastic and polite. Obviously, the 3 of them were important figures. They were on the same level as that young man. Thinking of how he had mocked and scolded Lin Feng just now. Chapter 7:14. Who exactly is he? Li Shiyu and the others were puzzled. He was so young. He seemed to be the youngest person in the room. What qualifications did he have? To be treated so warmly by the president and the 2 vice presidents? What qualifications did he have? To be on the same level as the 3 great figures? Everyone. They were all puzzled. Although they were puzzled about Lin Feng's identity. Li Shiyu and the others knew. Lin Feng must be an extraordinary figure. They hurriedly tried to recall if they had had any verbal conflicts with Lin Feng before. Although they despised this person in their hearts. However, there was no verbal conflict. Thinking of this, they heaved a sigh of relief. Li Shiyu and the others looked at Lu Yu, who was trembling in fear, with pity in their eyes. Little friend Lin, the 3 of us have already communicated with the upper echelons of the main hall. Now that the appointment order has been issued, let's go over. We can officially appoint little friend Lin as the Great Elder of the Spirit Array Caster Hall. Murong Baichuan said. Thank you. Lin Feng smiled and cupped his fists. Little friend, you're too polite. Murong Baichuan smiled. The 4 of them walked towards the Dao platform. Who is this person? Li Shiyu asked an elder-level spirit array caster beside her. The elder whispered. This is the new Great Elder of the Spirit Array Caster Guild. How is this possible? Li Shiyu exclaimed in disbelief. Great Elder. At the very least, one had to be a high-level Earth Stage Spirit Array caster. Lin Feng. A cultivator around 20 years old. Was he a high-level Earth Stage Spirit Array caster? Silence! A senior elder said in a deep voice. Li Shiyu also knew that she had lost her composure and quickly apologized. At this moment, she looked at Lin Feng in a daze. She thought of her pride, her unparalleled talent, in front of that young man. It was not worth mentioning. Li Shiyu felt a deep sense of frustration. As for the rest of the people, they were all dumbfounded. The guy they looked down on before. He was actually the newly appointed Great Elder of the Spirit Array Caster Guild? At this moment, Lin Feng and the others walked over. Lin Feng glanced at Lu Yu and said indifferently, I wonder if I am qualified to stay here now? Lu Yu already knew that Lin Feng was about to become the Great Elder of the Spirit Array Master Hall. Such a figure. He was not someone he could afford to offend. Lu Yu was so scared that his legs went soft, and he fell to his knees with a thud. What's going on? Murong Baichuan's expression sank slightly. Murong Baichuan was old and shrewd. What had he not seen before? From this simple conversation, one could roughly guess what had happened. His eyes could not help but turn cold. If it was because of a group of small fries. This caused a rift between Lin Feng and the Spirit Array Caster Guild. Who could take responsibility for this? This was the first time that many people had seen Murong Baichuan reveal such a frighteningly cold expression. They could not help but feel a chill in their hearts. Li Shiyu and the others were also trembling in fear. Even though they didn't have any direct conflict with Lin Feng. After all, they had come with Lu Yu. Li Shiyu and the others were worried that Lin Feng would hate them because of Lu Yu. A great elder of the Spirit Array Caster Guild wanted to deal with them. It was too easy. It's all my fault. I didn't recognize Mount Tai and offended sir. Please spare me. Lu Yu's face was pale. He kept kowtowing and apologizing. Lin Feng shook his head slightly. This Lu Yu was really a piece of trash. He was actually scared to such an extent. He didn't have the mood to argue with small fries like Lu Yu and Li Shiyu. Lin Feng looked at Murong Baichuan and said, It's nothing. There was some misunderstanding earlier. Since this person has apologized, let's forget about it. Since Great Elder Lin has spared you, you can get up. Murong Baichuan said. Yes. Thank you for sparing my life, sir. Lu Yu got up from the ground gratefully. Lin Feng glanced at Li Xiu. This Li Xiu was still very beautiful, and she had indeed broken through to the earth stage. Her talent could be called monstrous. After all, she was only 23 years old. She was only 2 years older than Lin Feng. Lin Feng said, "There's always someone better. Remember my words, otherwise you will definitely cause great trouble in the future." Being reprimanded by someone younger than her. However, Li Xiu did not feel uncomfortable at all. Instead, she admired Lin Feng very much. She felt that Lin Feng was broad-minded. Li Xiu hurriedly said, "Yes, great elder. I will remember it. I will definitely treat others humbly in the future." "Yes." Lin Feng nodded. Next, under the auspices of Murong Baichuan, Wang Changming, and Nan Gonghai, they began to crown Lin Feng as the great elder. According to the usual practice, Lin Feng first paid his respects to the 3 ancestors. Next, the runes on the platform began to distort. Shwa! A distorted image appeared. In the image, a hazy world of mist appeared. At the end of the misty world, there were 4 old figures sitting cross-legged. "Oh my God, it's the ancestors! Are the ancestors going to personally crown Great Elder Lin?" The 2 vice presidents, Wang Changming and Nan Gonghai, were filled with shock. Even Murong Baichuan was the same. They had never thought that the 4 ancestors would appear. As for the rest of the people, they were all filled with shock. Even the elder-level spirit array masters had never seen the legendary 4 ancestors. Now, they had actually seen them. Everyone was deeply shocked in their hearts. Lin Feng had actually made the 4 ancestors of the Spirit Array Masters Guild personally appear. It could be seen that the 4 ancestors valued Lin Feng greatly. "These are the 4 ancestors of the main hall, and also the 4 supreme elders of the Spirit Array Masters Guild. They are all Spirit Array Masters that have surpassed the heavens." Murong Baichuan whispered into Lin Feng's ear. "Spirit Array Masters that have surpassed the heavens? Saint-level Spirit Array Masters?" Lin Feng was shocked. These should be the 4 people with the highest achievements in Spirit Array Masters in the Tianwu continent. "You are Lin Feng?" An old voice sounded. "This junior is," Lin Feng said in neither servile nor overbearing manner. "Just as Baichuan said, your talent and ability are excellent. Now, this old man represents the Spirit Array Masters Guild to ask you, are you willing to become the great elder of the Spirit Array Masters Guild?" The old voice sounded again. "This junior is willing." Lin Feng cupped his fists. "Good, from today onwards you are the great elder of the Spirit Array Masters Guild." The ancestor nodded. A divine light flew out from the misty world. Lin Feng's body was filled with strength. "It's the divine protection. The 4 ancestors blessed Great Elder Lin with the divine protection. It's the divine protection. It's said that the person blessed with the divine protection will be protected by the 4 ancestors. It seems that the 4 ancestors value Great Elder Lin more than we thought," said Lin Feng. Many people were discussing and looking at Lin Feng with envy. Even Murong Baichuan, Wang Changming, and Nan Gonghai had envious expressions. Even they had not been blessed by the 4 ancestors with the divine protection. Lin Feng had unexpectedly received the divine protection from the 4 ancestors. It was said that the divine protection could steal the luck of the world. Moreover, in times of danger, the divine protection could be used to save one's life. "The world is very big, work hard." The 4 ancestors looked at Lin Feng. "This junior will remember." Lin Feng bowed. Then, the misty world became illusory. Not long after, it disappeared without a trace. The 4 ancestors had used their heaven-defying magic power to manifest the technique just now. After crowning Lin Feng, they withdrew their magic power. He didn't know what level these 4 ancestors were at. Their techniques were divine. Chapter 7:15. This is the token of the Great Elder of the Hall of Spirit Array Masters. All kinds of information are recorded on it. Murong Baichuan handed a token to Lin Feng. Lin Feng put the talisman away. The Spirit Array Masters Guild was spread all over the Tianwu continent. even the 4 Cs. They were all distributed by the Spirit Array Masters Guild. Therefore, with this token, it would be very convenient for him to do many things in the future. He could also use the power of the Spirit Array Masters Guild. I still have some things to do here, so I won't stay any longer, Lin Feng said apologetically. Wang Changming immediately said regretfully, We even prepared a banquet to celebrate Great Elder Lin's coronation. Lin Feng said, I'm really sorry, I'll invite everyone to a banquet next time. Nan Gonghai smiled and said, It's pardonable that Great Elder Lin has something to do, so we'll be looking forward to Great Elder Lin's invitation. Haha, that's for sure. Lin Feng smiled. Murong Baichuan and the others personally sent Lin Feng out. It's the president, the vice president, and the others. Everyone, quickly stand properly. When the guard saw the group of important figures walking out of the Spirit Array Masters Guild, he immediately showed an extremely respectful expression. The others stood up straight. They glanced at the group of important figures walking out from the corner of their eyes. These important figures seem to be accompanying a cultivator? Could it be the new Great Elder? The guards couldn't help but mutter in their hearts. They had naturally heard that the Spirit Array Masters Guild was about to crown a new Great Elder. However, they didn't have the qualifications to enter and watch the coronation ceremony. Lin Feng, Murong Baichuan, and the others walked out while chatting and laughing. He saw the guard who had kindly warned him not to offend Li Shiyu Lu Yu and the others. Lin Feng walked over. He patted the guard's shoulder and smiled. How many years have you worked in the Spirit Array Masters Guild? When the guard saw Lin Feng, he was a little puzzled. Wasn't this the young man he had just warned? He was worried that this young man would go against Lu Yu and the others because he was young and impetuous. Thus, he kindly reminded him, afraid that this young man would cause trouble. Great Elder Lin, you know this person? Murong Baichuan asked. Great Elder Lin? The guard's heart was suddenly filled with disbelief. This young man was First Elder Lin. Today, the Spirit Array Caster Guild had crowned him as the new Great Elder. How was this possible? Such a young Great Elder of the Spirit Array Caster Guild? The guard felt as if he couldn't think straight at this moment. In his heart, he was filled with deep shock. Lin Feng smiled and replied, A friend I met not too long ago. Friends? Grand Elder Lin said that I'm his friend? The guard was so excited that his whole body trembled. The Spirit Array Caster Guild will not mistreat loyal people like you, said Lin Feng while patting the guard's shoulder. Immediately after, Murong Baichuan and the others left. Zhang Hao! Come to my place later, the elder in charge of the Spirit Array Caster Guild's security said to the guard with a smile. His previous arrogance was gone, replaced by an amiable look. It made people think that there was something wrong with this strict guy's head. The guard named Zhang Hao quickly nodded. The rest of the guards looked at Zhang Hao with envy. They knew. This time, Zhang Hao was probably going to make a meteoric rise. After returning from the Spirit Array Caster Guild, Lin Feng found that Sikong Jiayue hadn't returned. This is... Suddenly, Lin Feng found a letter on the table in Sikong Jiayue's room. Lin Feng, I have urgent matters to attend to and had to leave. I didn't have time to wait for you to tell me the details. Don't worry about me, I'm safe. The words, Sikong, were written on the letter. It was obviously left for Lin Feng by Sikong Jiayue. Who did Sikong meet when he went out? Why did he leave in such a hurry? Lin Feng frowned. However, since Sikong said that he was fine, Lin Feng was slightly relieved. During this period of time, the auction house had been promoting the upcoming auction. The golden flame fruit was naturally included in the promotional materials. And it was heavily promoted. Many large forces were paying attention to the golden flame fruit. Such a heavenly treasure. It could help cultivators break through the yin-yang realm. Naturally, it would cause countless people to fight over it. Therefore, the auction this time was extremely lively. On the day of the auction, countless people rushed to the auction house. On the streets, people came and went. It was very lively. This was because there were too many people who wanted to enter the auction house. Therefore, those who were able to enter were all people with a certain level of prestige. Not just anyone could enter the auction house. Lin Feng entered the auction house in a very low-key manner. He asked for a VIP box. When Jiang Chao heard that Lin Feng had arrived, he personally came to Lin Feng and brought a plate of spirit fruits. He smiled and said, "Lin Gongzi, this is the spirit fruit that the president ordered. This is a heavenly spirit fruit that has been growing for 3,000 years. After eating it, it will greatly benefit one's cultivation. Thank the president for me." Lin Feng smiled. The two of them chatted for a while before Jiang Chao left. The auction was about to begin. He still had many things to deal with. People poured into the auction house one after another. Many people from large forces arrived one after another. There were even experts from ancient forces. This auction was an auction that the auction house had been preparing for a long time. They were waiting for the opening of the ruins of God. Countless cultivators entered the sea world. This was a good opportunity. A large-scale auction was held. Lin Feng opened the auction booklet and read the introduction of some of the items. There was only an introduction of a portion of the auction items, but it was already enough to make Lin Feng very shocked. This was because Lin Feng even saw a Dao artifact being auctioned. This auction house is really rich. They can even take out a Dao artifact for auction? How much is this Dao artifact worth? Lin Feng's face was full of shock. Even the lowest grade Dao artifact. It would probably cost hundreds of trillions of spirit stones, right? If it was converted to top-grade spirit stones. It would also cost 100 million top-grade spirit stones. 100 million top-grade spirit stones. How many experts could this create? Lin Feng had obtained so many yin-yang realm storage rings. There were also all kinds of treasures and pills that he had accumulated over the years. He had all taken them to the auction house and exchanged them for top-grade spirit stones. He had only exchanged them for 3,200 top-grade spirit stones. One could imagine how terrifying 100 million top-grade spirit stones was. Only ancient forces could afford such a treasure. Ordinary forces. They couldn't take out such a huge amount of spirit stones. An ancient force like the Blue Cloud sect. They couldn't gather 100 million top-grade spirit stones even if they sold everything they had. Dong, dong, dong! At this moment, 3 melodious sounds of bells rang out. The auction house that was originally venting. It immediately quieted down. The auction had begun. An old man and a beautiful woman walked up to the auction stage. They were the hosts of this auction. The first auction item is a fragment of the world tree. The old man smiled. What? A fragment of the world tree?